Chapter 463. Have you finished your closed-door training? It seems that the 3 days of closed-door training really have a great effect. You have actually been promoted to the third heaven of martial master. It's really amazing. Guodonghai's eyes were extremely sharp. Even through the virtual projection, he could feel that Xiaping's current state was completely different from 3 days ago. He had become extremely powerful. Previously, he had talked to Zhao Yang, the dean of Yanhuang University, on the phone. He heard that this young man was an incredible genius and was even valued by the school elders. Now it seemed that it was true. Even though he was now an expert of the supreme power realm, he was extremely impressed by Xiaping's cultivation speed. In time, this young man would easily surpass him. Indeed, I have gained something. Xiaping didn't want to talk about these things. He asked directly, by the way, Governor, why did you call me? Is there something important? Guodonghai nodded, yes, there is something I need your help with. I don't know if you have time now. Help? What is it? Xiaping asked curiously. It was a big surprise that the governor of Western Huang City actually needed his help. Guodonghai said, You will know when you come to my study. After saying this, he hung up the phone. Xiaping went to his guest room to take a bath, changed his clothes, and went to the study of the governor's mansion. He saw Guodonghai already waiting in the study. There was no one else around. Coming. Seeing Xiaping arrive, Guodonghai didn't greet Xiaping. He went straight to the point. I don't know if you have heard of the demonic spirit mineral vein in the Western Huang Desert? Yes. Xiaping nodded. He had also seen this demonic spirit mineral vein in the various materials given by Yanhuang University. It is said that in ancient times, this was a huge mineral vein that contained a large number of demonic spirit stones. That's right. Guodonghai nodded. The so-called demonic spirit stones are a special kind of, or that the demon race often takes. It is said that they can absorb the energy in these ores to strengthen the demon power in their body. Therefore, their cultivation progress is very fast. It is far from what human beings could compare with at that time. He showed a look of emotion. Xiaping's eyes flickered and said, Governor, why are you saying this? Although the demonic spirit mineral vein used to contain a large number of demonic spirit stones, this place has long become an abandoned mineral vein. There are no demonic spirit stones left. Moreover, demon spirit stones do not have much use for us humans. Although these demon spirit stones contain boundless demonic qi, it was impossible for humans to absorb it. If they were to forcefully absorb it, they would be corroded by the demonic qi and fall into cultivation deviation. Therefore, even though they knew that there was a unique or like the demon spirit stone, no one wanted to snatch it. No, I'm not looking for demon spirit stones. Guodonghai waved his hand and said, Perhaps you don't know, but the reason why this demon spirit vein became a ruin was not because the demon clan finished harvesting it. In fact, in ancient times, this mine had experienced an earth-shattering battle. At that time, this place was devastated, and the blood of demon kings was shed. As a result, many spatial folds and wormholes have appeared in this space. No one knows which dimensional space they are connected to. Not only is it dangerous, but there are also spatial storms from time to time. What's even more shocking is that the demon kings fell one after another, and their blood stained the earth's mineral veins. As a result, endless resentment was born in this land, and many demons were born. Because of this demon spirit vein became a forbidden area for humans. The Federation government also issued a policy to prohibit some humans from going to the demon spirit vein to seek death. He revealed many secrets about the demonic spirit mine. Could it be that something happened to this demon spirit vein? Xiaping's eyes flashed. He immediately heard the other party's hidden meaning. If it wasn't for the demon spirit vein, the other party would not have told him so much. Smart. Guodonghai faintly smiled and said, 3 months ago, there was a huge change in the demon spirit vein. The demons that appeared near the demon spirit vein disappeared. Not a single one was left. Even the demonic and demonic qi around the demon spirit vein disappeared. The situation was extremely strange. There were even people who heard heart-palpitating roars coming from the depths of the demon spirit vein. There were also traces of demon clan experts appearing in the demon spirit vein. His face was very serious. Then what do you want me to do? Xiaping went straight to the point. Guodonghai smiled and said, "Talking to smart people really saves energy. I asked you to come here because I want you to personally go out and find out why the demon spirit vein is acting strangely. Also, why are those demon clan experts appearing in the demon spirit vein? If I don't investigate it clearly, I won't be able to eat or sleep in peace. After all, the demon spirit vein is too close to the Western Desolation City. If something happens there, I'm afraid the 30 million people in the Western Desolation City will be affected. I have to be careful." His eyes revealed a trace of cold light. "Why do you want me to go there to investigate? There are many experts in the Western Desolation City. There is no need for me to go there." Xiaoping did not understand the arrangement of this matter. There are many experts, but not many of them are useful. Guodonghai went straight to the point. Moreover, the demon spirit vein is extremely strange. It has a unique rule of heaven and earth. If a grandmaster goes there, he will immediately be eroded by the demonic qi and become a walking corpse. Only a martial master will not disturb the rule of heaven and earth and can walk freely. Although there are many martial masters in the Western Desolation City, in terms of strength, methods, and strategy, there is no one who can be compared to you. Speaking to here, he paused for a moment and looked at Xiaoping. This task does not require you to do anything. You only need to go there and investigate. After understanding the situation, you can come back. There is no need to fight to the death. You can also choose not to agree. However, if you agree and complete the task, I can make the decision to reward you with a blood dragon pill on behalf of the Western Desolation City. Blood dragon pill. Hearing this, Xiaoping's eyes revealed a trace of light. This is a pill made from the blood essence of the Demon King, the blood dragon, and 49 kinds of precious elixirs. Taking such an elixir would probably help him advance to the next level immediately. This kind of pill is too precious. Can be said to be priceless. Once it appears, it will be sold out. Even if you have the money, you may not be able to buy it. "Okay, I agree," Xiaoping immediately said. Anyway, he was only going to the demon spirit vein to find some information. It was not a dangerous task. However, if he completed this task, he would be able to get the blood dragon pill. No matter how he looked at it, this was a good deal. "That's great." Guodonghai was overjoyed. He then reminded, however, "You must not let your guard down. This demon spirit vein is very dangerous. Demons and beasts run amok. Space is folded. If you are not careful, you may die inside." "And I understand." Chapter 464. The Western Wasteland was a vast desert. It was a barren land that stretched for thousands of miles. The sun was high up in the sky and the temperature reached 40 to 50 degrees Celsius. Even if an egg was placed in the desert, it would be cooked quickly. It was incomparably hot. This was not a place for humans to live. At this moment, a figure was running at high speed in the desert like a super sports car. Behind him, thousands of layers of sand and dust swirled up, filling the sky with yellow sand. And this person was Xiaoping from the Western Wasteland City. He was leaping in the desert with one foot lightly touching the ground. Two transparent wings sprouted from his back, manipulating the airflow. With a rumbling sound, he was like a kuan peng, gliding quickly in the air. Every time he glided, he could fly 1 or 2 kilometers. It was extremely fast. This is great. After leaving the Western Wasteland City and coming to this vast world, Xiaoping felt as if there were no restrictions on his body. He could use his qigong as he pleased. He continuously circulated his kuan-peng steps, displaying this peerless movement technique to the fullest. After reaching the martial master realm, humans of this level could already control quintessence, condense air, and glide in the air. Their speed was many times faster than a martial disciple. Some people condensed quintessence in their feet and instantly exploded like a jet plane. This allowed their feet to produce a strong propulsion force, allowing them to dash hundreds of meters in an instant. Some people controlled the air and condensed the air around their feet, forming an air barrier. When humans stepped on it, it was as if they were walking in the sky. Their speed was also extremely fast. As for the kuan-peng steps that Xiaoping cultivated, he circulated quintessence on his back, feet, and other parts of his body and condensed them into kuan-peng wings. He controlled the air and glided in the air. This method could make use of the turbulence in the air to increase one's speed. Furthermore, it could save energy. This was an extremely brilliant technique that required precise control of quintessence. If an ordinary martial disciple wanted to control it, it would take at least 10 years. It was extremely difficult. Just at the martial master realm, he is already so powerful. It is said that when he advances to the grandmaster realm, his quintessence will transform into astral energy. At that time, his power will be more than 10 times stronger. Xiaoping was very fascinated. Once a grandmaster realm expert moves, his speed will be extremely fast. He can break through the sound barrier and rub against the air, causing his entire body to emit flames. When one attains the king realm, one can even break free from the pull of gravity. This is true flight and soaring through space. As for why a king realm expert was able to accomplish such an inconceivable feat, he still didn't know the answer for now. Because that realm seemed to have numerous secrets that ordinary martial artists were unable to know about. However, this matter is too far away from me right now. I should focus on the present. Xiaoping kept running deeper into the desert, his speed increasing. He utilized the Kuanpeng steps and controlled the airflow to glide as he leaped about. Every inch of his muscles was utilized to the limit. At this moment he was simply like a Kuanpeng. When he reached his limit, Xiaoping felt the spiritual qi of heaven and earth crazily rushing into every pore of his body, continuously tempering his muscles, meridians, skin, blood vessels, internal organs, and other parts of his body. Even the oncoming gale, when the speed reached a certain degree, would be like a hammer, striking from all directions, tempering Xiaoping's body without any blind spots. The potential in the depths of his body was also stimulated bit by bit under this extreme exercise. It could be said that sometimes running was also a kind of arduous cultivation, and the effect of cultivation was no less than fighting to the death. Bang! After running for an unknown amount of time, Xiaoping felt that the quintessence in his body seemed to have reached a limit. The quintessence was like an ocean surging around his meridians, and the medicinal energy hidden in the depths of his body was also rapidly refined. His body trembled violently, and the 26th meridian was actually broken in that instant. A large amount of quintessence surged, and his strength and speed increased once again. I've improved again. Xiaoping's face was filled with joy. He didn't expect that just running would have such a shocking effect on cultivation. Maybe sometimes this kind of extreme training would be of great benefit to him. Just like this, he ran for a few hours, passing through the vast desert, and finally arrived at the demonic spirit vein. This is the demonic spirit vein? Xiaoping stopped and calmed his breathing, slowly recovering the exhausted quintessence in his body. However, the quintessence in his body was many times denser than that of an ordinary martial master. Just running for a few hours was not enough to completely exhaust the quintessence in his body. At most he was panting a little. He looked into the distance, and saw that at the edge of the desert, there was a huge abandoned demonic spirit vein. Huge black stone mountains stood in front of him, and the mountain peaks stood in great numbers. This was simply an endless mountain range, covering an area of thousands of kilometers. It was as if there was a huge black beast lying in the depths of the desert, emitting an oppressive aura. At this moment, these stone mountains were riddled with holes, as if they had been excavated countless times. There were holes in them like a beehive. These holes made whistling sounds and a cold wind blew. It was as if there were many terrifying demons living in them. What a gloomy place! Xiaoping's eyes revealed a trace of coldness. In this huge abandoned demonic spirit vein, he could feel the oppressive demonic aura coming from the depths of the demonic spirit vein. It contained an abyss of evil, like the sins of hell. Furthermore, these huge black stone mountains were not scattered messily in the surroundings. Instead, they were arranged in an orderly manner, distributed in different locations, forming a natural formation. Under this formation there seemed to be a space of its own. The demonic aura within the space was restrained, and only a trace of demonic aura was emitted. Powerful. Could it be that this demonic spirit vein was set up by an expert in the ancient times? Or was it born this way? Xiaoping immediately felt the danger of this demonic spirit vein. Furthermore, when he was about to get close to the demonic spirit vein, he felt an indescribable pressure coming from the sky. It was as if someone's strength surpassed the martial master realm, they would be crushed by this formation. Stop right there. Just as Xiaoping was about to step into the demonic spirit vein, there was suddenly an angry roar coming from the front. This voice was like the roar of a war drum, shaking his heart to the point that it felt like it was going to shatter. With a soaked sound, dozens of strange monsters appeared at the edge of the demonic spirit vein. They had the torso of a human, but the head of a tiger, the head of a black wolf, the head of a poisonous snake, etc. Demon Clan. Chapter 465. Human. A tiger demon stared at Xiaoping and shouted angrily, "What are you trying to do in the demonic spirit mineral vein? Tell me immediately, or you won't be able to leave this place alive." He was speaking the human language. Ever since the planet Yanhuang entered the cloud realm, they had fought countless battles with the demons there. The human language had also spread to the demons, and countless demons knew about it. It was like when the West invaded the New World in the Middle Ages on Earth and brought English to the world. They were beaten back again and again. Reflecting on the painful experience, in order to learn the advanced human culture and learn from each other, many Demon Clan experts also took the initiative to learn the human language and exchange what they lacked. This demonic spirit mineral vein is the territory of the Demon Clan. You humans have no right to enter. If you dare to come closer, kill without mercy. If you don't tell me your purpose, you won't be able to keep your life. The group of demons looked ferocious. Their bodies emitted a frightening demonic aura that almost condensed into a substance. All of them were demons that had reached the martial master realm and were very powerful. I received an order from the Western Wilderness City, Lord, to come here to investigate the demonic spirit mineral vein. It is said that there is something strange in this place. There is an unusual aura and there are demons. Xiaoping said straightforwardly. The Lord suspects that the Demon Clan has a big conspiracy, so he wants to see what is going on. It is a coincidence to meet you now. Tell me immediately what happened. If any of you can provide useful information, I will reward you heavily. He said that if these demons could provide effective clues, there would be a great reward. This. Hearing this, the tiger demon's mouth twitched. He originally thought that he would need to torture and force them to find out the purpose of the demon spirit mineral vein. However, before he could even make a move, the other party had already spilled everything out, not leaving out a single detail. Wasn't he being too honest? Too simple and honest? Could it be that all humans were idiots like this? Moreover, he also suspected that there was something wrong with this human's IQ. Since the Demon Clan had a conspiracy here, how could they honestly say it? Did this human bastard think that the intelligence of the Demon Clan was as low as his, and that they would say it easily? Reward your balls. Before the tiger demon could think of anything, a bad-tempered wolf demon immediately cursed. Who do you think we, the demon race, are? You want us to work for you just by giving us some rewards? You're crazy. Scram immediately. If you're late, I'll kill you. He glared at Xiaoping with a murderous look. After all, he had a blood feud with humans. How could he reveal information to humans just for a little reward? Did they really think he was crazy? Human, if you know what's good for you, then scram. There's no demon conspiracy here, and nothing unusual has happened. If you dare to take another step forward, you will die a tragic death today. A group of demons cursed loudly as they stared coldly at Xiaoping. A frightening murderous aura permeated the surroundings. Don't worry. Are you complaining that the reward isn't enough? Xiaoping said. I have a bottle of wood spirit pills on me. It's worth a lot. If any of you are willing to be a trader, I can give it to you. I can even guarantee that you can migrate to a human city and enjoy wealth. He took out a bottle of pills. A bottle of wood spirit pills. The surrounding demons were all speechless. This human was definitely an idiot. He probably hadn't seen much of the world. It was just a bottle of wood spirit pills. They were all martial master demons, and the strongest among them was a martial master at the fifth firmament. Which one of them couldn't casually obtain something like this? This human thought that they would reveal information just because he gave them some small favors. He even wanted them to be traitors. What did he think the Demon Clan was? Could they be bought so easily? Even a dog wouldn't wag its tail pitifully in front of the other party for a bone. You. The wolf demon's eyes were red as he glared at Xiaoping. He had never seen such an arrogant human in his life. He actually wanted them to be traitors so blatantly. He looked down on demons too much. Everyone, don't talk nonsense with this human. This human is simply a madman. Talking to him is a waste of energy. A demon shouted. Lord Scorpion said that any suspicious people who approach the demon spirit mine should be killed immediately. We must not let the news of this place leak out and attract strong enemies of the human race. Hearing these words, the faces of the surrounding demons turned serious. They no longer had any intention of relaxing. Human. The tiger demon stood up and stared at Xia Ping. I think you're not bad. Although your IQ is a bit low, you can still bring me a little fun. How about this? I'll give you two options. The first option is to be my slave. In the future, you will work for me obediently and listen to my orders. If I have something to eat, I will have something to drink. The second option is to die. Choose for yourself. He only gave Xia Ping two options. The other demons looked at Xia Ping with eyes full of mockery. The first option was to live a life worse than death. As long as he became a slave of the demon clan, he would have no freedom in this life. He could beat and kill as he pleased. Moreover, for demons, having a human slave was also a very honorable thing. This was a symbol of status, similar to a human having a spiritual pet. If one was not powerful, they would not be able to get it. As for the second option, it was simple. There was only one word, and that was to kill. It seems that you guys are unwilling to be demons. Xia Ping looked up to the sky and sighed. Originally, I wanted to give you demons a way out, but you guys didn't want it. You just want to die. Who can you blame? I guess you guys think that I'm just a third heaven of martial master and that I'm weak, so you think that you can defeat me. But let me tell you, this way of thinking is wrong. Very wrong. As soon as he finished speaking, he immediately made his move. Boom! At this moment, Xia Ping used the pure yang immortal art. His body immediately emitted a terrifying dark red flame, and the surrounding tens of meters were surrounded by this flame. With his body as the center, a unique flame aura was formed, enveloping all the demons. After reaching the third heaven of martial master, be it strength, true essence, or mental strength, he had become a lot stronger. The power that he could erupt with was also more terrifying than before. These flames exploded in the void and dripped onto the ground. They immediately burned and turned into a sky full of fire. Even the stones were ignited at this moment. And some of the demons that came into contact with these flames immediately let out shrill screams. In a breath's time, their bodies turned into huge torches, burning all over. Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, the tiger demon and the other demons watched as 5 or 6 demons were burned to ashes by the flames, leaving only a pile of black skeletons. Chapter 466. What's going on? How can this human's fire qigong be so terrifying? Could it be a king-level cultivation technique? Seeing Xia Ping burn dozens of monsters to death with a single move, one of the monsters was shocked. Just now, a flame descended and was about to touch his body. Fortunately, he dodged in time. Otherwise, even if he was not burned to death, he would have been seriously injured. No. How can an ordinary king-level cultivation technique be so terrifying? Indeed, an ordinary fire qigong would not have such a tyrannical power. This is too terrifying. Even a fire demon with a high-grade bloodline is only SOSO. Many of the monsters were shocked. They were stunned by Xia Ping's move. The scene of dozens of monsters being burned alive appeared in front of their eyes. They were so scared that they were speechless. Some of the demons were even trembling, completely out of their wits. It is indeed terrifying. A cold light flashed in the tiger monster's eyes. Being able to control fire true yuan to such an extent with your cultivation of level 3 martial master, you can be considered an elite among the humans. No wonder the city lord of West Desolation City sent you here to investigate. Seeing Xia Ping's move, he was a little shocked. But soon, a sinister smile appeared on his face. But no matter how powerful this qigong is, you are only a level 3 martial master. Facing the power of our demon clan's bloodline, you are nothing. Boom! As soon as he finished speaking, the tiger monster immediately attacked. He displayed the terrifying power of a level 5 martial master. Majestic demon chi surged out of his body and soared into the sky, causing the entire ground to tremble. The muscles on his body swelled and became incomparably hard like rocks. His body also doubled in size. All the hair on his body surged out, tearing his clothes. His originally human-like palms had also turned into tiger palms. They had sharp claws, as if they were made of thousand-year-old cold iron. They emitted a threatening cold light. You humans were only a weak race in ancient times. You created all kinds of martial arts by imitating our demon clan's attacks. This is just copying others' knowledge. When it comes to orthodox martial arts, we demons are the true grandmasters of the martial arts. You humans are just babies. Now I'll let you, a lowly human, have a taste of the peerless martial art of my tiger demon clan. Roaring Tiger Fist. This is the real Tiger Fist. The tiger demon roared. He took a step forward, and the entire ground collapsed from his stomp. A shocking pit appeared and cracks spread out like a spider web. His fist blasted out, and like the roar of a divine tiger, the energy vibrated. The terrifying demonic chi condensed into substance, and this fist contained an unstoppable might. Even a small mountain would collapse from the impact. Amazing! Upon seeing the tiger demon use that punch, Xiaoping felt his mind tremble. He had previously learned the tiger fist and believed that he had grasped the essence of the tiger fist and obtained its true form. However, when he saw the tiger demon's fist technique, he realized that he had only scratched the surface. The attacking techniques of these demons had been cultivated from the depths of the mountains, the wilderness, and the desolate lands. They had fought against countless savage beasts and demon beasts, bathed in fresh blood. Their every movement, every move, every technique had been thoroughly tempered, almost fused with their blood. This kind of fist art had seeped into their souls, and the power they displayed was absolutely not something that ordinary warriors could compare with. However, that was only relative to ordinary humans. Xiaoping had inherited the infernal golden crow's bloodline and cultivated the pure yang immortal incantation, which was a cultivation technique that surpassed the king tier. Be it physique, strength, or soul, they were all superior to ordinary humans. Even the demon race with the highest bloodline might not be able to compare with him. Even though this tiger demon was proficient in the essence of the tiger fist technique, and his demonic power had reached the fifth heaven of the martial master realm, making him unparalleled and able to collapse a small mountain with one punch, he still couldn't do anything to Xiaoping. Buddha's palm. At this moment, Xiaoping slapped out with a solemn palm. Golden light burst from his body, and a golden palm blasted out in mid-air. It was the Buddha's palm. As the palm smashed over, the earth trembled, and the sound of Sanskrit could be heard everywhere. It was as if the Buddha was subduing dragons and tigers. Any demon would have to submit under such a tyrannical palm force. Dong! When the palm landed on the tiger demon's fist, it was as if a giant had descended. There was a series of explosions in the air, instantly shattering the demonic power on the tiger demon's fist. Even the protective demonic aura on its body shattered inch by inch under the palm of the subduing dragons and tigers, like countless pieces of glass. This tyrannical palm force seeped into its strong body and entered its internal organs, shaking thousands of times. In an instant, it was sent flying hundreds of meters, smashing into the wall of a small mountain in the distance. With a sound, the tiger demon couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of blood. Its eyes were filled with extreme fear. It seemed like it couldn't believe that its full-powered punch had been easily blocked by this human, and even sent flying with a palm strike. It was even seriously injured and even lost half of its combat power. This is too strong. Is this still a human? Could it be an ancient divine beast in human skin? It can't be a human. Even the elephant race, which is known for their strength, can't compare to such immense strength. The demons at the side were all dumbfounded. They couldn't believe that this human was so strong. It was just a palm strike, and even the tiger demon, who was a fifth-layer martial master, was not a match for him, heavily injured with a single palm strike. This wasn't a matter of technique. It was purely a difference in strength. The tiger demon was completely suppressed. You said that the martial arts of humans are just copying from others? Xiaoping looked at the tiger demon and looked down from above. Wrong. Let me tell you, this is a grave mistake. Although humans learn from the world and all living things, that's why they created all kinds of martial arts. However, after countless years of development, humans have long surpassed their predecessors. As for you demons, you think that your bloodline is strong, your talent is shocking, and your martial arts are amazing. It's because of this advantage that you have. For thousands of years, you haven't thought about improving. You've been stuck in a rut and you don't know how to learn. Now, you're no longer in the mainstream. In another 1,000 years, you demons will just be a dish. He stood with his hands behind his back, emitting a tyrannical aura like a martial master, suppressing the hearts of the demons. A dish? Human, don't be too arrogant. Even if my demon race has declined, it's not something you can belittle and humiliate. The tiger demon roared crazily, its face flushed with anger. Arrogant? If I want to kill you, who can stop me? Xiaoping took a step forward and punched through the air. Even though they were hundreds of meters apart, this punch passed through the void. The fist force vibrated and quintessential essence condensed, producing a terrifying fist force. Stop! Seeing this, the surrounding demons roared, trying to stop him. Chapter 467. Ah, human, I won't forgive you. Let's go together and kill this damned human. Tear him apart and skin him alive. Kill him, we must kill him to avenge Brother Tiger. Seeing the tiger demon killed by Xiaoping with one punch, every demon present was so angry that their lungs were about to explode. They couldn't wait to tear Xiaoping into pieces. This behavior had completely infuriated them. They wouldn't stop until he was dead. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. The demons immediately attacked from all directions. Their bodies vibrated with tyrannical demonic power. They controlled the demonic wind and filled the sky with black fog as they attacked Xiaoping. Die all of you. Seeing these demons attacking him, Xiaoping remained unfazed. He operated the pure yang immortal incantation, and his qigong vibrated. Behind him, the faint image of a golden crow of hell appeared, and a huge ball of flames burst out from his body. Nailhead 7 Arrows Skill 3rd Style Rain of Flowers. After advancing to the Martial Master realm, and cultivating the 3rd level of the Nailhead 7 Arrows skill, Xiaoping had a deeper understanding of this martial art. Although this martial art was a hidden weapon cultivation technique, it didn't need hidden weapons made of steel. As long as he grabbed at the void, the air would vibrate and quintessential essence could be condensed into unique hidden weapons. This was the power of the Nailhead 7 Arrows skill. Walala! The flames around Xiaoping's body suddenly vibrated strangely. Under the control of his mental strength, the flames turned into flaming lotuses. These lotuses were burning hot and intertwined layer by layer. They were incomparably sacred. When these flaming lotuses gathered together, the momentum was amazing, as if they had formed a fire cloud. This feeling, Xiaoping felt that his mental strength seemed to have turned into threads, penetrating into the depths of these flames, and completely controlling this energy. It was as if at this moment he was the flame and the flame was him. He had reached the realm of man and fire as one. In this realm, Xiaoping felt that he was in control of everything and had a feeling of omnipotence. Kill! Xiaoping immediately attacked. These flaming lotuses seemed to have a life of their own. They covered the sky and the earth and bombarded the demons in front of them. This was the saturated attack of missiles, there was no gap at all. Quick dodge quickly. Don't touch these flames. When one of the demons saw this, his hair stood on end. A feeling of death surged in his heart. He could not help but shout, hoping that his companions would quickly hide. However, under Xiaoping's control, even if they wanted to dodge, it was already too late. Bang bang bang. The flaming lotuses fell with extreme accuracy, instantly hitting the bodies of these demons. With a snap, the flames immediately pierced through their bodies. Oh! The monsters let out shrill cries and tried to dodge, but they were unable to do so. The flames seemed to have a mind of their own and could move freely in midair. With a loud boom, the flames pierced through the bodies of all the monsters present. Every drop of blood and every cell in their bodies began to burn from the inside out. In just a few breaths, these demons were burned to ashes. So powerful. As expected of the head-piercing 7 arrows, Xiaoping was very satisfied. This kind of power was extraordinary. With a single strike, he had killed all these monsters, saving him a lot of energy. After using this move, he felt that his understanding of the head-piercing 7 arrows art had deepened. These are demonic cores. Xiaoping scanned with his mental energy and instantly sensed that within the piles of black ashes, there seemed to be many pearls the size of glass beads. They were dark red in color and seemed to contain pure energy. He soon understood that these were the cores of these demons. They contained the essence of their entire life and were extremely precious. With a swoosh, Xiaoping grabbed out with his hand and instantly collected tins of demonic cores, placing them into his interspatial ring. This could be considered a great harvest. Devour. Instantly, these demonic cores were swallowed into Xiaoping's stomach, entering the depths of his dantian. The sun furnace in his dantian burned, instantly burning the demonic qi within the demonic cores cleanly. In just a few breaths, the demonic qi within these demonic cores was completely purified, turning into pure energy. After that, it was converted into large amounts of true essence that flowed through his meridians. What a pure energy! Xiaoping almost moaned. After these demonic cores lost their demonic qi, they became the purest form of energy. This was the source of life and was incomparably precious. Not only did it not bring any harm to humans, it was also extremely beneficial. If he could obtain enough demonic cores, he would be able to break through consecutively and strengthen his body. However, if he wanted to directly devour demonic cores, only Xiaoping would be able to do such a thing. After forming the sun furnace in his dantian, he would be able to devour all sorts of wondrous items in the world. There were many benefits to this. This was the unique ability of the pure yang immortal art. If I can even devour demonic cores, I wonder if I can devour the legendary demonic spirit stones as well? Xiaoping's eyes shone with a bright light as his heart stirred. If he could even devour demonic spirit stones, he would be the same as the demonic beast race. He could borrow the power of these wondrous items to increase his strength, and his cultivation speed would be countless times faster. Roar! At this instant, a series of furious roars drifted over from afar. It was as though numerous terrifying demonic beasts knew of the situation here and knew that their companions had been killed. A tyrannical aura could be felt from afar, rushing over with a frenzy. Companions? How did they discover me so quickly? Xiaoping guessed that these demonic beasts should have some unknown means of requesting for help. At the instant he killed these demonic beasts, they should have sent out a distress signal. Whoosh! Xiaoping sensed that the demonic beasts rushing over from afar were extremely powerful. Each of them had the strength of a ninth heaven martial master. Furthermore, there were many of them surrounding him from all directions. Without saying a word, he executed the Kuan-Peng steps and advanced towards the depths of the demonic spirit mine, leaving this place quickly. Just after Xiaoping left, a dozen figures descended on this place. Their demonic aura soared into the sky. With a loud thud, they landed on the ground, creating a deep pit. When one of the demonic beasts saw the pile of ashes on the ground, his face turned extremely gloomy. Damn it, I'm still one step too late. They have already been killed by that damned human. Not a single one is left. His demonic aura permeated the surroundings, and he sensed that there were no living creatures in the surroundings. Not a single demonic beast had survived. Damn it, damn it. Damned human, how dare he kill my clansman? I will not forgive him. My clansman just died not long ago. This human is definitely not too far away. If we catch up to him now, we might be able to kill him. If I'm not wrong, that human is probably a spy sent by Western Desolation City to find out about the abnormality of the demonic spirit mine. No matter who he is, since he dared to kill my clansman, he must die. He must die. That's right. Capture that human immediately and execute him. Chapter 468. Whoosh! Xiaoping entered the depths of the demon spirit vein. He immediately realized that the area of the demon spirit vein was too big. There were many mountains crisscrossing each other, stretching for thousands of kilometers. He couldn't even see the end of it. This place was very complicated. There were traces of mining everywhere. Some of the mountains were hollowed out, while others had countless holes and many complicated tunnels. If someone were to accidentally barge in, they would probably be trapped in a maze, never to come out again. Of course, the most terrifying thing was that there were many wormholes around the demon spirit vein. These wormholes were connected to the space outside, extending to God knows where. There was a terrifying suction force around these wormholes. If someone dared to get close, they would be sucked in immediately. If someone accidentally fell into one of these wormholes, they wouldn't even know where they would be teleported to. If they entered a vacuum space, they would die immediately. Even their hearts would be crushed to death. Legend has it that there was an earth-shattering battle in this demon spirit vein, which caused the space here to shatter. Many dimensional spaces appeared. It seems like the rumors are true. Seeing the appearance of these wormholes and the cracks on the space barrier, Xiaoping was shocked. He didn't know what kind of power could cause such a scene. Even a king tier might not be able to possess such terrifying power. What's that? Xiaoping looked ahead and immediately discovered a huge mountain that seemed to be bathed in black blood. There was actually black hair growing on the surface of the mountain, sending chills down one's spine. He could feel that countless demons were born from the blood, as if there were many demons hiding in it. If this mountain was disturbed, it would bring about endless disasters. Fortunately, this mountain seemed to be suppressed by a mysterious force in this area, forming a domain that prevented the tyrannical demons from coming out of the depths of this mountain. If not for this power, it would probably lead to a great disaster, and many lives would be lost. Indeed, this place has the blood of demon kings and the fall of demon sages. Xiaoping's eyes lit up. He felt that he couldn't touch the restriction here. Otherwise, the consequences would be unimaginable. I have to hide my aura and not be discovered by the demons in this demon spirit vein. Thinking of this, Xiaoping immediately circulated the quintessential essence in his body and infused it into the depths of the golden crow cells in his body. Immediately, the aura in his body was quickly restrained, leaving not a single drop behind. At this moment, his body's aura was like that of a stone, fusing with his surroundings without any flaws. Even a king tier would not be able to see through him. It really does have a miraculous effect. As long as I conceal my presence, I won't be discovered by the fiendish demons in the depths of the mountains, nor will I be tracked by them. Xiaoping felt that this kind of ability was extremely magical. It was many times more tyrannical than ordinary aura concealing techniques. Once it was hidden in the depths of the cells, no one would be able to detect it. Whoosh! He continued to go deeper into the demon spirit vein, passing through mountains one after another. Among them, he also passed through several extremely dangerous mountains with tyrannical demon geniuses living in them. However, he avoided them one by one and was very careful not to alarm the monsters in the depths of the mountains. Just like this, Xiaoping ran for a day and a night and finally arrived at the center of the demon spirit vein. Such a strong demonic aura. What's going on? As he neared the center of the demon spirit vein, Xiaoping immediately felt a strong demonic aura coming from the center, shooting up into the sky. A large amount of black aura surged up, forming a huge dark cloud in the sky, covering the sky and the sun. Indistinctly, there was a demon god roaring in the sky, causing one's heart to palpitate. With a whoosh, Xiaoping's body flashed and immediately neared the area. This area was a huge open space. Hundreds and thousands of monsters appeared on the open space. Each of them emitted a strong demonic aura. They were at least at the martial master level, and a considerable number of them had reached the 9th layer of the martial master level. There were also many huge rocks on the ground, each 4 to 5 meters tall. They were carved into totems such as tigers, leopards, lions, and so on. These stone totems were of all shapes and sizes. They were distributed in different parts of the open space, and there seemed to be grooves connecting them, forming a strange array formation. What are these demons doing? A cold light flashed in Xiaoping's eyes. The formation in front of him gave him a very bad feeling, as if it would lead to a great disaster. However, he did not know what these demons were planning by setting up a formation here. At this moment, a group of demons flew over from afar, immediately stirring up a demonic wind. They were all 9th heaven of martial masters, the elites of the elites here, the core strength. Damn it! A martial master demon landed on the ground and immediately cursed. Where is that despicable human hiding? We have searched for a day and a night, but we still can't find any trace of him. It's as if he disappeared from the face of the earth. This is like seeing a ghost. He cursed and was in a very bad mood. That's right. If this continues and this human escapes, our demon race will lose a lot of face. To let a human kill our comrade and leave unscathed, this is a great humiliation. It doesn't matter if we lose face. The problem is that we are now setting up the Sky Demon installation formation. If that damned human suddenly runs out and spoils our plans, all our efforts will be for naught. At that time, when young Master Scorpion blames us, we will not be able to bear the consequences. Everything we have done before will be in vain. We must find that human and get rid of this disaster. Easy for you to say. How are we going to find him? Hiding in the demon spirit vein is like looking for a needle in a haystack. Indeed, there is nothing we can do. The demon spirit vein is simply too big. Furthermore, its geographical location is very complicated. There are even some forbidden areas that we don't dare to enter. That's right. That human went deep into the demon spirit vein and found a random mountain to hide in. We won't be able to find him. A cowardly human only knows how to hide. Does he not dare to come out and fight us for 300 rounds? Many of the martial master demons clenched their teeth. In order to kill Xiaoping, they searched the demon spirit vein for a day. However, they did not find any clues. Because of this, they were filled with anger. If Xiaoping appeared in front of them, they would definitely pounce on him and tear him to pieces. Only then would they be able to vent the anger in their hearts. Sky Demon Installation Formation? Scorpion 13? Xiaoping's eyes flickered. He was hiding under a black rock that was as tall as a person. His aura and breathing had fused with the rock. No matter how strong these demons were, they would not be able to discover his existence. Chapter 469. Young Master Scorpion 13 is here. Originally, the demons wanted to say something, but suddenly one of them shouted out loudly. Boom! At that moment, a blood-colored demonic wind came from afar. A monster rode the wind and landed in the middle of the martial master monsters in an instant. He was 188 meters tall and had a strong body. He had a horn on his head and a human torso. He walked on 2 feet and had a black scorpion tail. It was covered in scales and looked like it was made of steel. It was extremely hard. There seemed to be a black poison on it. If one came into contact with it, they would immediately die. Although this monster was only a martial master at the 6th layer, the monsters present looked at him with admiration and reverence. They did not dare to be disrespectful. How's the preparation for the Sky Monster installation formation? Scorpion 13 landed on the ground and stood with his hands behind his back. He looked like a natural king as he spoke to the monsters around him. His tone was indifferent, but it contained an indisputable tone. Young Master. A martial master realm demon immediately stood up. It took us 3 months, but we finally succeeded in setting up this Sky Demon installation formation. We just need to wait until tonight at midnight when the Yin Qi is the strongest. At that time we can activate this formation and draw on the power of the earth, and the power of the demon kings left behind by the ancient demon clan to enlighten you and increase your strength. You'll be able to reach the peak of the demon soldier realm in one go. Xiaoping's eyes flickered. He knew from Yanhuang University that there were various realms among the demon clan. They were the demon servant realm, demon soldier realm, demon general realm, and demon king realm. These realms corresponded to the martial warrior realm, martial master realm, and king realm. Obviously, these monsters were the elite demon soldiers of the demon clan. Not bad at all. Scorpion 13 was very satisfied. He nodded and said, this time, the Sky Monster installation formation must succeed. I want to use this formation to reach the peak of the demon soldier realm in one go. At the same time, I want to improve my demon clan bloodline and increase my potential. This way, my chances of winning in the Sky Monster battlefield will greatly increase. I'll be able to compete with the other demon clan geniuses. At that time, my father, the Black Scorpion King, will definitely be pleased. And you guys will also receive many rewards. You'll have a meteoric rise and stand out. He clenched his fists, his eyes filled with ambition. Black Scorpion King? Xiaoping's spirit was greatly roused. He knew that the Black Scorpion King was one of the demon kings of the 72 caves. His power and influence were monstrous, and he ruled over countless great demons. There were many demon kingdoms under his rule, and he was a true big shot. Even the Human Alliance government would not underestimate such a person, and would treat him with caution. Scorpion 13 was the son of the Black Scorpion King, so he was basically the grandson of a prince. It was no wonder that he was able to command so many monsters at the 6th level of the Martial Master realm, and even made them submit to him willingly. With such a status, there were naturally countless monsters willing to work for him. But 13th Young Master Scorpion, a Martial Master Fiend, said worriedly, although the Heavenly Fiend Infusion formation is able to transfer the Fiend King energy and baleful Earth energy left in this place to Young Master, this energy also contains fiendish demon chi. If Young Master were to absorb this energy, he would be tainted by the demonic aura. At that time, his soul would not be able to withstand it, and he would completely turn into a demon. He would no longer recognize his own kin and become a madman. Scorpion 13 was worried about this. The Heavenly Fiend Infusion formation was able to quickly increase the strength of the monster race. It could even increase the purity of the monster's bloodline, allowing one's aptitude to be improved and undergo a complete transformation. However, the side effects were endless. If one was not careful, the evil aura would invade one's soul and destroy one's consciousness. One would become a walking corpse, a monster that only knew how to kill. Haha, you don't have to worry about this at all. Scorpion 13 laughed loudly. To deal with this situation, I asked my father for a treasure, the Calming Pearl. This treasure can stabilize my soul and temporarily make me invulnerable to all evils and invincible. By then, even if the fiendish demon chi and the 1,000-year-old evil aura invade my body, they would not be able to harm me at all. Then, I can take the opportunity to devour the power of the Fiend Kings here and purify the bloodline in my body. He took out a transparent pearl from his body, which suddenly emitted waves of divine aura. It immediately calmed the souls of the monsters around him, as it possessed incredible power. The Calming Pearl? Isn't this one of the Black Scorpion King's supreme secret treasures? He actually bestowed it to the young master. Many monsters were shocked. They did not think that the Black Scorpion King would actually be willing to bestow this treasure to Scorpion 13. It's not a reward but a temporary loan. Scorpion 13 was in a good mood as he corrected. However, even if it was a temporary loan, it was still an incredible honor. After all, the Black Scorpion King had many descendants, numbering in the hundreds. Yet, they had never seen him lend a treasure to any of his descendants. Only Scorpion 13 had this honor. It was easy to imagine how much he was favored. As expected of young Master Scorpion 13, to actually receive such favor from the king. It seems that in the future, he will definitely inherit the king's position and become the next Black Scorpion King. Even the Calming Pearl was lent out. How could there be any problems? The king's favor is evident. The young master becoming a king is just around the corner, and we will also be able to rise to the heavens and get a mouthful of the soup. Many of the monsters flattered Scorpion 13. If Scorpion 13 became king, then they, as his subordinates, would naturally obtain endless benefits. Thinking of this, they became even more loyal. The reason why Scorpion 13 took out the Calming Pearl was to intimidate his subordinates, and not to be distracted. He lightly said, "As long as you work for me with peace of mind, the benefits you will obtain in the future will be even more than the stars in the sky." "Yes, young master." The group of monsters loudly shouted, showing their loyalty. However, young master, once this Sky Devil Infusion formation is activated, the 10,000 years worth of ominous energy in this demonic spirit mine will explode, and the entire formation of the demonic spirit mine will be completely destroyed. A Martial Master Realm monster said in a deep voice, "At that time, the demons sealed in this mine will swarm out, and the people within a 10,000-mile radius will be plunged into misery and suffering. We have to be careful." He knew the consequences of activating the Sky Devil Infusion formation. It would cause the terrain to change, and the demons here would be completely freed. The consequences would be unimaginable. "What does that have to do with me?" Scorpion 13 coldly laughed. "There are no demonic spirit kingdoms nearby, only a few human cities. Even if those demons take the opportunity to wreak havoc, they will only kill humans." He did not agree. Indeed, it will only be humans that will die. Tsk, those humans probably never thought that they would face a calamity in their sleep. When these demons come out, a country will be destroyed. This time the human cities nearby will be doomed. At least tens of millions of people will die, and blood will flow like a river. This can be considered as the interest paid by the humans. For young master to achieve great things, isn't it only right for the humans to pay a little price? The ones who die are humans. What does that have to do with us demons? Chapter 470. Ruthless enough. Hearing the discussion of these demons, Xiaoping's eyes revealed a trace of coldness. As the saying goes, humans don't want to harm the tiger, but the tiger wants to eat humans. If this group of demons really activated this formation and destroyed the formation of the demon spirit vein, provoking the demons deep within the vein to come out, then the 30 million people of Western Desolation City would die. However, this kind of method was very normal for demons. After all, they were not of the same race. How could they feel heartache when there were casualties? But young master. This was a martial master demon. He said in a deep voice, just now a human broke through our defense and killed many of our companions. I reckon that he has already entered deep into the demon spirit vein. We are temporarily unable to track his whereabouts. If he knows about this sky demon installation formation, I'm afraid he will harm us and ruin our plan. He reminded Scorpion 13 of this unstable factor. That's right, this human is a problem. Previously, Western Desolation City had sent some experts over, but they were all killed by us. The news has been sealed very tightly. Indeed, I originally thought that this would be foolproof, but I never thought that the human would be so powerful. He killed so many of our companions and escaped. Damn it! If we let this human escape, he will leak the news and attract powerful human enemies. Then our plan will probably be ruined. Young master, you must find that damn human and avenge our companions. Many demons clenched their fists. Their expressions were filled with anger and killing intent. I already know about this matter. There is no need to worry. Scorpion 13 coldly laughed. Tonight our plan will be completed. No matter how powerful that human is, he won't have the time to leak the news and mobilize the human experts of Western Desolation City to the demon spirit vein. Moreover, once the sky demon installation formation is activated, it will attract the endless evil energy and demonic energy. It will spread for thousands of miles and cover the sky. At that time, even if he has wings, he won't be able to escape. He's just a dead man. His eyes were filled with disdain. He did not put Xiaoping in his eyes at all. The other demons could not help but nod their heads. That was indeed the case. No matter how powerful the human's concealment ability was, hiding in the depths of the demon spirit vein, they would not be able to find him. However, once the sky demon installation formation is activated, the endless evil energy will erupt. He will not be able to escape. In an instant, the evil energy will invade his body and destroy his soul, turning him into a walking corpse. Anyway, Scorpion Shursan waved his hand. Hurry up and finish setting up the formation. We'll activate the Sky Demon Infusion formation tonight. The faster we finish, the faster we can kill that human. Yes, young master. The group of demons shouted and immediately accepted the order. You want to kill me? Hearing these words, Xiaoping's eyes flashed with a cold light. What a bunch of demons that refuse to give up. If I don't kill them until they are afraid, they won't know what fear is. An eerie killing intent surged in his heart. Scorpion 13 is the descendant of the Black Scorpion King, one of the 72 fiend kings of the fiend race. He even gave Scorpion 13 a precious artifact. He probably dotes on this kid a lot. Xiaoping rubbed his chin. If he dies in this place, or if this group of demons is completely annihilated here, I'm afraid it will completely enrage the Black Scorpion King. Thinking up to this point, Shurfeng could not help but feel a rush of excitement. If he could eliminate Scorpion 13 in this place, not only would he be able to complete the quest and save Western Wilderness City from danger, but he would also be able to gain a large amount of hatred. This was simply killing two birds with one stone. Scorpion 13 wanted to kill him, but how could he not want to destroy this group of monsters? System, is there any way to crack the Sky Monster installation array? Xiaoping's heart moved and immediately asked. The secret method to crack the Sky Monster installation array is extremely precious and requires 2 million hatred points. The system replied. What? How can it be so much? Xiaoping was speechless. He did not expect that just a method to crack it would cost so much. The price of knowledge is expensive, especially the knowledge of arrays. Its value is even more amazing. The system said. Some people can't learn it even if they exhaust their wealth and put in all their effort. After listening to this, Xiaoping also had no choice. He knew that there was no way to bargain with the system. The price was so high, and it was impossible to reduce it by even a cent. After thinking for a moment, he decided to exchange for it. After all, spending 2 million hatred points would be able to kill Scorpion 13 and the other demons. If he angered the Black Scorpion King and other great demons, he would definitely gain a lot of hatred points. It could be said that this was a profitable business, and there was no reason not to do it. Exchange. Xiaoping immediately said. Walala, immediately. A large amount of information was instilled into Xiaoping's mind. The nodes of this sky monster installation array, as well as the specific information about the array, were all completely grasped by him. So that's how it is. Xiaoping suddenly realized that the way to crack the sky monster installation array was very simple. At midnight, when this group of demons was about to activate the array, when the evil aura of the array was at its strongest, one of the key nodes would be destroyed in an instant. Then the entire array would collapse just like building blocks. If a piece of wood was removed, it would all collapse. Although the method was very simple, without the knowledge of the system, it was estimated that even if he broke his head, he would not know where the node of this array was. Host, I must remind you of one thing. The system said, once the sky monster installation array is destroyed, then the infinite evil aura absorbed by this array will erupt in an instant. Such power is earth-shattering, no less than a nuclear bomb explosion. If you don't dodge in time, I'm afraid you will perish together with them. It reminded Xiaoping of the risks of this approach. It's okay. Xiaoping had already thought of this outcome. He had a treasure like the interspatial ring on him. This treasure could even store living people, and it was extremely hard. Even a nuclear explosion would not be able to destroy it. As long as he hid inside the interspatial ring, then the instant the array exploded, the interspatial ring would resist it. The explosive energy would not be able to harm him at all. Time passed very quickly. In the blink of an eye, several hours had passed. It was midnight. The sky was dark, and dark clouds covered the moon. It was gloomy without any light. The north wind whistled and the cold wind blew. Hundreds and thousands of demons were distributed in the center of the demon spirit mine, and the entire array was completed. The demon totems were placed at the key nodes, and they resonated with each other. With a boom, the entire array shook. Red lines appeared between the nodes, forming a complex array diagram. It faintly resonated with the evil aura of heaven and earth. It was as if at this moment, the endless evil aura and demonic aura of the demon spirit mine had gathered in the center of the array. It's time. Chapter 471. Sky Monster Infusion Formation, Activate. At this moment, Scorpion 13 stood in the center of the formation. He operated the demonic energy in his body, and threw out the demonic spirit stones on his body, placing them in the center of the formation. With a bang, the demonic spirit stones were immediately refined by the evil chi from the formation, turning into balls of extremely pure energy. The entire formation began to tremble. Walala, the huge totems shook. Every single pattern on the totems seemed to emit a golden light. These golden lights interweaved together and formed a complicated and mysterious formation. Above the sky, a huge black pillar of light descended. It was as if countless mysterious energy gathered in the center from all directions and poured into the formation. Some of the demonic king's bloodline and some pure energy left in the demonic spirit mine were also attracted by the formation. They all rushed over and gathered in the center of the formation. Haha, success! The Sky Monster Infusion Formation is about to be completed. After preparing for so many years and spending so many resources, it is all worth it. As long as the young master receives the demonic king's energy here, he will be able to purify the demonic king's bloodline by 1,000 times. His talent will be comparable to the descendants of divine beasts. At that time, becoming a demonic king is a sure thing. When a demon achieves the Tao, even the chickens and dogs will ascend to heaven. We are going to be rich too. Many demons were extremely happy. They could not help but clench their fists. They were very excited. If Scorpion 13 could succeed, then they would also obtain endless benefits in the future. Come quickly. As long as I succeed this time, my talent will increase by countless times. In the future, I will definitely become the Black Scorpion King and inherit the Black Scorpion Cave. Even if I become the master of the 1,000-monster mountain in the future and rule over thousands of monsters, there will still be a glimmer of hope. Scorpion 13 clenched his fists. His eyes were filled with excitement. Even though he was very shrewd, he still could not hide his emotions when he was so close to success. After all, this was an opportunity that could change his fate. How could he be indifferent? Bang! At this moment, a huge rock in the distance exploded into pieces. At the same time, a tyrannical aura burst out. The entire area was shaking. A figure flew out from the rock. It was Xia Ping. At the moment when the formation was about to be activated, he finally found an opportunity and made his move. Human. It's the human that killed dozens of our companions at the edge of the demon spirit vein. A demon immediately shouted. He sensed that the aura coming from the figure was identical to the aura left behind at the murder scene. Therefore, he recognized it immediately. What? Many of the demons were alarmed. They never expected that the human who they had scared into hiding would appear at this moment. Furthermore, it was at the instant when the Sky Demon installation array was about to be activated. It has to be said that this is the weakest moment for the Sky Demon infusion array. This array is operating at full power, absorbing the ominous aura and the power of the Demon King's bloodline. Its defense is extremely weak. If someone were to attack at this moment, the formation would definitely collapse, and the consequences would be unthinkable. Kill him. Kill him now. Don't let him destroy this formation. Scorpion 13 roared. His face was flushed, and he was unprecedentedly anxious. It has to be said that in order to successfully build this formation, he paid a huge price. He used all of his life savings and even borrowed a lot of money. However, he was not worried at all, because if he succeeded, he would become a demon among demons. Any demon would have to look up to him, so this little price was nothing. However, if he failed, the consequences would be unimaginable. First, he would owe a lot of money, and he would not be able to pay it back even after hundreds of years. Worst of all, he would disappoint his father, and he would be banished to the cold palace. He would have no hope of making a comeback in this lifetime, and his future would be ruined. One could imagine how anxious and angry he was at Xia Ping's sudden appearance. He simply wished that he could go back in time and kill this human who wanted to ruin his plans. It's too late. Xia Ping's eyes revealed a hint of coldness. He grabbed a rock in his hand and wrapped his entire body with true essence. Standing on the ground, a tyrannical aura rose up, causing the ground to crack and tremble. First move of the 7 arrows art piercing heart and bone. Immediately, the power in his body spread from his feet, waist, arms, elbows, and fingers. A power like a dragon was transmitted inch by inch, causing the air to explode. Bang! At this moment, this power exploded. It was almost the peak of Xia Ping's current power. The rock flew out and spun violently in the air, causing the air to tremble. Because it was too fast, it had already broken through the sound barrier. It was surrounded by a terrifying flame, which was extremely dazzling in the dark space, causing people's hearts to palpitate. Stop right now. Scorpion 13's eyes were wide open as he roared. The nearby Martial Master Realm demons were burning with anxiety. They rushed out trying to stop the rock. They could not let this human ruin their plan. However, it was useless. The rock contained a tyrannical true essence. It was invincible, and it was not something that these Martial Master Realm demons could resist. With a bang, the rock pierced through the bodies of 2 or 3 demons, shattering their hearts and splitting them into pieces. Blood sprayed out with a poochie sound. Ugh, they widened their eyes, as if they could not believe that they had been killed so easily. However, this was not the end. After piercing through the bodies of 3 demons, the rock arrived at a scorpion-shaped rock totem. This totem was the core node of the Sky Demon installation formation. With a bang, The rock totem was immediately blown apart by the true essence power carried by the rock. Like a bomb, it exploded with a terrifying impact and shattered into countless rock fragments. It's over, it's completely over. The surrounding demons were all stunned, completely stunned. They felt their minds go blank and they could not think at all. They knew that if this node was destroyed, it would bring about serious consequences. Originally, the boundless evil chi was gathered in the center of the formation. However, if the formation was destroyed, the evil chi would have nowhere to vent, and it would instantly cause an earth-shattering explosion. No one could survive such an explosion. Bastard! Scorpion 13 roared towards the sky. You destroyed my foundation. You destroyed my future. I will not forgive you, I will not forgive you. Tears of blood even flowed out of his eyes. Demonic power erupted from his body, and a huge crater was created by his feet. What does it have to do with me? Xiaping could not be bothered with Scorpion 13's roar of despair. He felt that there seemed to be countless energies colliding in the center of the formation. A terrifying destructive aura spread out, as if a nuclear bomb was about to explode. Whoosh! Chapter 472. The moment Xiaping hid in the interspatial ring, the formation immediately collapsed. A huge mass of energy gathered in the center of the formation. The chi of heaven and earth vibrated for millions of times and suddenly exploded. Rumble! Everything within 50 kilometers was affected by this terrifying energy. Ripples that could be seen with the naked eye spread out from the center of the formation and quickly spread in all directions. The destructive power of this energy fluctuation was too shocking. Everywhere it went, it destroyed everything. Many stone mountains collapsed under this terrifying energy and were razed to the ground. The soil was sent flying for dozens of kilometers. The ground collapsed for thousands of meters and a huge black pit appeared. Tens of thousands of cracks appeared and extended for several kilometers, forming a spiderweb-like pattern. This fluctuation was like an earthquake with a magnitude of more than 10. Not only did it cause the entire demon spirit mind to tremble, but it also affected thousands of kilometers. Even Western Huang City could feel a slight tremor. As for those Martial Master realm monsters, they didn't even have the chance to struggle or cry for help. They were instantly affected by this energy and turned into powder. In the sky, a huge mushroom cloud appeared. The terrifying fluctuation soared into the sky and completely broke through the dark clouds in the sky. The endless killing intent instantly dissipated. The center of the formation also produced a terrifying heat. The heat was so shocking that it even crystallized the gravel. Some of the rocks and soil were burned into magma. The air was filled with the smell of burning. After a full half an hour, the explosion finally stopped, and the black smoke and dust also drifted away with the airflow, returning to the previous calm. Is it already over? Xiaping hid in the interspatial ring. He used his mental strength to sense the situation outside. With the protection of the interspatial ring, the terrifying energy outside could not invade. However, he also knew how terrifying this kind of explosion was. He estimated that even a Grandmaster realm expert would be instantly killed and vaporized. Fortunately, the interspatial ring was deeply embedded in the soil, so it was not blown to any dangerous place. It was still not far from the formation, so it could be considered lucky. He sensed that there was no danger outside. With a swoosh, his figure flashed and he immediately came out of the interspatial ring. How tragic! Xiaping looked around and clicked his tongue in admiration. He was also shocked by the power of the explosion just now. Originally, there were many stone mountains around this place, but now they were all razed to the ground, turning into a plain with a radius of 100 miles. The ground was also scorched black, and there was a large amount of red magma flowing in the center. Apart from the lack of radiation, this power was no different from a nuclear bomb. If not for the protection of the spatial ring, he would have died without a doubt. Are all the demons dead? Xiaping looked around and did not see a single demon. They had all vanished without a trace. Not even their corpses could be seen. It was estimated that all of them had died in the explosion just now. Even their corpses were instantly vaporized by the terrifying heat and disappeared from the world. Xiao! Just at this moment, a sharp black gust of wind suddenly came from afar. It was incomparably terrifying, tearing through the air. It was even faster than a sniper bullet and contained a terrifying killing intent. Kunpeng step. Xiaoping instinctively used this footwork technique. A pair of transparent wings formed on his back, and his feet lightly moved to the side. In an instant he had moved tens of meters away, dodging this attack. With a dong sound, this gust of wind attacked into the distance, instantly tearing the ground in front of it in half, revealing a deep ravine. Moreover, this black gale contained a deadly poison, causing the ground to emit a black liquid that continuously rolled and bubbled. The air was filled with a terrible stench that made people shiver. Xiaoping squinted his eyes and immediately looked into the distance. He saw more than 10 demons appear. Their bodies seemed to be wrapped in a ball of golden energy, but it had dimmed quite a bit. It was as if their energy had been exhausted, and they were about to disappear. The person who had launched a sneak attack on him was the boss of this group of demons, Scorpion Shursan. The demons standing beside him were all Scorpion Shursan's trusted subordinates. All of them were at the 9th heaven of the martial master realm. However, now that they had been attacked by the self-detonation of the formation, they were all severely injured. Numerous bloody scars appeared on the surface of their bodies. Their internal organs were all severely injured. Some of them lost an arm, some lost a leg, and some even had a bloody hole in their chest. Although he did not know how they had avoided the explosion that would have killed them, it was clear that even if they were still alive, they had suffered extremely serious injuries. They had less than 10% of their original strength, at most equivalent to the 5th heaven of the martial master realm. Human. Scorpion Shursan glared at Xiaoping and shouted angrily, "You actually dared to launch a sneak attack on me, Scorpion Shursan. You're too bold. If I don't kill you today, I, Scorpion Shursan, swear not to be a demon." He was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. In order to build the Sky Demon Infusion formation, who knew how much energy, how much resources, and how much time he had wasted? It could be said that he had spent all his fortune and all his effort. But now, it had been completely destroyed by this human in front of him with just a stone. Even 99% of the 1,000 subordinates he had brought with him had died. If it wasn't for the fact that he had a one-time use defensive treasure on him that could withstand an attack at the level of a nuclear bomb, even he would have died in that earth-shattering explosion. One could imagine how much he hated Xiaoping right now. Even the waters of 3 rivers could not wash it away. He wanted nothing more than to exterminate Xiaoping's entire family. Swear not to be a demon? Then all of you can die. As soon as he finished speaking, Xiaoping immediately attacked. With a snap, he took out the Hell Spear from his spatial ring. In the blink of an eye, he stabbed the spear toward Scorpion Shursan and the other demons. Immediately the weather changed. The spear was imbued with the majestic true essence in Xiaoping's body. A tyrannical force surged out, like the aura of hell, tearing everything apart. Nothing in the world could stop it. It was incomparably sharp. In the void there seemed to be the painful howls of demons, ghosts wailing and wolves howling. What? Scorpion Shursan and the other demons did not expect this human to be so despicable. He simply wanted to take their lives while they were sick. He was shameless to the extreme and did not care about morality. He did not waste a word with them and directly attacked to kill them. He was so cruel that it was a complete mess. Bang! The 2 or 3 demons in front tried to attack. They punched out and exploded their demonic power, wanting to block the Hell Spear. However, they could not stop it. The Hell Spear exploded with a sharp aura that even the outer shell of the battleship could not withstand. The titanium alloy was easily cut through like tofu. How could they, the demons, block it? With a bang, the bodies of the 3 martial master demons were immediately pierced by the phantom of the spear. A bloody hole appeared in their chests, as if they had been nailed in mid-air. Chapter 473. Bastard, I'm going to kill you. Scorpion 13 roared. Xiaoping had caused the deaths of so many of his subordinates and ruined his plan of so many years. This already made him want to tear this human into pieces. Now this damned human actually dared to stab 3 of them to death in front of him. This was simply adding fuel to the fire. He couldn't even tolerate this. Boom! With a roar, endless black demonic energy surged out of his body, shaking the ground. This black demonic energy even contained an extremely terrifying poison. This was the innate skill of the scorpion race. Black scorpion poison. Once someone was infected with this poison, even a Master Realm expert would die within a few breaths. The scorpion race relied on this poison to run amok among the many big monsters, causing countless people to tremble in fear. In an instant he rushed up and punched out. The entire ground collapsed from this huge force. The black demonic energy condensed into a fist energy that had the power to shatter a mountain. The first move of the myriad beast fist, violent ape hammer. Xiaoping crossed his arms and stepped out. Spiritual ether surged out of his body and instantly condensed into a huge hammer. It had the power to smash a mountain and tear the ground apart. The air twisted, creating a terrifying illusion. It was as if he had transformed into a violent ape. His aura had condensed into a substance, and he was many times stronger than when he was in the martial warrior realm. If it was said that before, he only had an aura without substance, then now his entire body seemed to contain the violent ape's bloodline. It was as if he had the violent power of an ancient violent ape. Boom! Immediately, this tyrannical force smashed out and collided with Scorpion 13 with the weight of a mountain. Bang! 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 Countless forces exploded one after another, bursting out with loud sounds. The ground trembled and dozens of huge craters appeared. Gravel flew in all directions. However, the black poisonous gas was not blown away. It spread over and filled the surroundings as if it had a life of its own. It wanted to surround Xiaoping's body. Go to hell. Scorpion 13's eyes revealed a vicious look. Even if this human could withstand his fist energy, once the poisonous gas entered his lungs, he would immediately die from the poison. The other demons also looked pitifully at the human in front of them. They believed that the human was doomed. Even if the human could cultivate divine martial arts and could match the demons in strength, it was impossible for him to survive. However, they did not have any racial talents. In actual combat, they would suffer greatly, especially when encountering demons like the scorpion race. If they were not careful, they would be poisoned to death. Even a peak martial master would not dare to fight with Scorpion 13 for fear of being poisoned. Boom! But before he could become complacent, Xiaoping's body began to revolve the pure yang immortal art. It was as if there was a divine bird living in his body that let out a cry. A terrifying dark red flame emerged from every pore of his body. The black poisonous gas that got close was immediately burned by the flames. In just a few breaths of time, the poisonous gas was completely burned, leaving nothing behind. What? How is that possible? Scorpion 13 was dumbfounded. This kind of scorpion venom was incomparably terrifying. Even ordinary flames would not be able to extinguish or expel it. He had relied on scorpion venom to challenge those of a higher realm, and had killed countless powerful enemies. But now he had encountered this human, and he was actually burned by his opponent's flame qigong. But how could he know how terrifying the flames in Xiaoping's body were? He had absorbed the essence of the sun and even contained the fire power of the golden crow of hell's bloodline. He already had a trace of the rudimentary form of the legendary Samadhi true fire. Even water would not be able to extinguish this flame. Just some scorpion venom would not be able to do anything to it. It would be burned to ashes in an instant, leaving nothing behind. Xiaoping's eyes revealed a trace of coldness. He noticed that Scorpion 13 was stunned for a moment. This was a fatal flaw. He did not hesitate and instantly attacked Scorpion 13. He took a step forward and struck out with his palm. His entire body seemed to have turned into a giant mountain bear. The air distorted, and his body seemed to have grown 5 meters taller. He was incomparably huge, looking down at the demons from above. Just one step forward caused the mountains to shake and the earth to shake. Then his palm struck down toward the sky. The air exploded, and the area around his palm became a vacuum. This power crushed down and a shockwave spread out. Even though he had not yet struck down, the shockwave had already formed a 10-meter wide palm mark on the ground. The gravel on the ground was shaken into powder. 10,000 Beast Fist's third form, bear-splitting palm. Boom! Scorpion 13 was caught off guard. His body was forcefully hit by this palm. It was as if he had been slapped by a bear. A terrifying force of hundreds of thousands of kilograms exploded in an instant. The demonic energy defense on his body immediately exploded, shattering inch by inch. Even the hard surface of his body was smashed into powder at this moment. His entire body could not withstand this huge force. Suddenly he was like a bug, slapped onto the ground. Cracking sounds rang out as he sunk more than 10 meters deep into the ground. His bones were broken, and he could not help but spit out a mouthful of blood. Impossible! Scorpion 13's expression was ferocious. He could not help but scream. He thought of himself as the pride of the demon race, and in the future he would become a king. He even had the ambition to rule the Wanyao mountain. He was so ambitious that he did not even care about a puny human. But now he was actually slapped onto the ground by a human like a bug, and was severely injured. For him, this was a huge humiliation that could not be erased. Since when did Scorpion 13, the dignified son of the Black Scorpion King, with a noble bloodline that stood under thousands of demons, and the future Demon King, get beaten up by a puny human like this? No one could imagine the hatred, grievance, and humiliation he was feeling right now. Die! A cold light flashed in Xiaping's eyes. He clenched his fist and punched through the air. He wanted to kill Scorpion 13 completely. An extremely terrifying killing intent surged out of his body, shaking heaven and earth. Human, stop right now. He is the son of the Black Scorpion King, the Demon King of the 72 Caves. You dare to kill him? Do you want to die? Are you trying to start a war between the demon race and the human race? Can you bear such a sin? The entire cloud world will not tolerate you for doing such a thing. Seeing this situation, the dozen or so martial master realm monsters beside him shouted angrily. Their hearts were burning with anxiety. If Scorpion 13 was killed by a human in this place, they would definitely die. If Scorpion 13 was killed by a human here, then even if they could return alive, they would definitely be torn to pieces by the angry Black Scorpion King. So, no matter what, they would not allow Xiaping to do such a thing. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. They instantly attacked and blocked in front of Scorpion 13. Their fists were like the wind, fighting against Xiaping. Bang! The fist energy vibrated and instantly exploded in midair. The ground was also blasted by this energy, and a large pit was formed. More than 10 huge rocks in the distance were shattered, and dozens of broken stones flew in all directions. Chapter 474. Kill this human. A martial master realm monster roared angrily, causing the air to tremble and form sound waves. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. With a command, more than a dozen monsters immediately acted. They were distributed in different positions and seemed to form a formation with each other. Their demonic aura surged out and connected with each other. If someone were to look down from the sky, their aura would form lines and form the shape of a giant scorpion. This was the famous formation of the Demon Clan, the Black Scorpion Battle Formation. Once they formed a battle formation, they could fuse the demonic aura of more than a dozen monsters and coordinate with each other. Their combat power would increase by dozens of times, enough to crush enemies stronger than themselves. Even though these monsters were now seriously injured, once they formed the Black Scorpion Battle Formation, their strength would continue to increase, and their attack power would be terrifying beyond belief. The reason why they did not hesitate to use the Black Scorpion Battle Formation and bully the weak with numbers was to instantly kill this human. Otherwise, as time passed, their injuries would become more and more serious. Therefore, they naturally had to use the power of thunder to kill the enemy. Otherwise, a long night would bring trouble, and they might even fail miserably. Rumble. The demonic aura of more than a dozen monsters burst out and rose into the air. They merged together and formed a giant scorpion. It wagged its tail and emitted a terrifying aura. This scorpion seemed to contain the might of a demon king. It charged towards Xiaping, wanting to tear him to pieces. Golden mirror. At this moment, Xiaping immediately took out another treasure, the golden mirror. This was a treasure he had obtained from Niezhen. Once it was activated, it could erupt with terrifying power. In the outside world, to prevent the Nye clan from knowing that he had killed Niezhen, he could not casually use it. However, in the wilderness of the demon spirit mineral vein, no one could see him. Therefore, he could naturally use it without worrying about the secret being leaked. Boom! He infused his quintessential essence into it. Immediately, the palm-sized mirror began to vibrate. The inscriptions around the frame shone brightly and trembled continuously. It seemed as if endless energy was gathering in the center of the mirror. He even infused his fire quintessential essence into it, causing the mirror to boil. After receiving the energy of the sun essence, this mirror seemed to be able to display even more terrifying power. What is that? The demons immediately felt their hearts palpitate, but they did not know what had happened. However, at that moment a conflict could break out at any moment. They could not retreat. Kill! Xia Ping picked up the mirror. Xiu xiu xiu. At this moment, the mirror instantly emitted a beam of golden light that was as thick as an arm. It condensed into a corporeal form and seemed to contain extreme destructive power, as well as the terrifying power of fire. It was like the light of the sun. The golden light was like a sudden clap of thunder that left no time to cover one's ears. In an instant, it bombarded the array formation formed by the group of demons. A boom rang out, and the scorpion formed from demonic chi was pierced through by the golden light. Flames spread out in all directions, completely purifying the demonic chi. Kacha! Kacha! The powerful black scorpion battle formation instantly shattered. More than a dozen demons suffered from the backlash. Their bodies were severely injured, and their internal organs were severely injured. They could not help but spit out a large mouthful of blood. Impossible! A prized artifact! You actually have another prized artifact! A demon screamed. He was almost going crazy. For an ordinary person to have a prized artifact was quite amazing, but this kid not only had one, but he also had a second one. Scorpion 13 was also a bit confused. He was so jealous that his intestines turned green. He was the most beloved son of the Black Scorpion King, but he had begged for a long time before his father temporarily lent him a prized artifact. However, this lowly human actually had two prized artifacts. It was too unfair. When did the gap between humans and demons become so big? Was there any such thing as equality? No, this human has a prized artifact. We cannot defeat him. Let's run. Even if we join forces, we are no match for him. More than a dozen demons were also very experienced in combat. They immediately knew that with their heavily injured bodies, their current combat power could not contend against this terrifying human with a prized artifact. Therefore, they immediately wanted to retreat. After all, they were demons with a bright future. There was no need for them to die here. Go to hell. Xia Ping's eyes revealed a trace of coldness. Since he had already used the golden light mirror, he would definitely not let these demons escape. Otherwise, if the fact that he had the golden light mirror was exposed and these demons spread it, the Nie family would immediately know that he was the murderer of Nie Zhen. At that time, he would definitely incur the wrath of the Wolf King, Nie Wudao. Of course, there was also the possibility that these demons would not tell anyone about it. However, he would not take such a risk. In this world, only dead people could keep secrets the best. Whoosh! 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 In an instant, he once again infused his true essence into the golden light mirror. Rays of golden light immediately burst out and bombarded in all directions. At that moment, some of the demons planned to flap their wings and escape. Some planned to attack Xia Ping to protect their teammates, some planned to jump into the air, and some planned to carry the injured Scorpion 13. However, at that moment time seemed to have stopped. All of them maintained their original positions, unable to move a single step. The golden light arrived in an instant. No, no, no. Dodge, dodge quickly. Scorpion 13 could not help but shout when he felt the fatal threat of the golden light. However, facing the speed of the golden light, they could not dodge at all. Their bodies could not even react in time. All they could see was a ray of light appearing, and in the next second, the golden light was already in front of them. Bang! 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 Rays of golden light pierced through the bodies of these demons, leaving a huge bloody hole in their chests. Moreover, the tyrannical power even exploded in their bodies. Thousands of energy forces collided with each other, tearing everything apart. With a loud bang, the bodies of more than 10 demons were blown into pieces. Flesh and blood flew everywhere and fell to the ground. Blood stained the ground and made sizzling sounds. What a powerful artifact! Xia Ping clenched his fist. He could feel the tyrannical power of the golden light mirror. It could increase his attack power by several times, and he could kill enemies from a few kilometers away. It was extremely ferocious. Moreover, this mirror was very compatible with his qigong. It seemed to have merged with the essence of his son, making the attack power of this mirror much more tyrannical. It was even more terrifying than when Niezhin used this mirror. However, it was a pity that this mirror could not be used casually. Otherwise, it would be a little troublesome if the Nie family found out about it. He was afraid that the Nie family would go crazy and seek revenge. Chapter 475. With a bang, a rock shattered, and Scorpion 13 stood up from the deep pit. His eyes were red as he stared at Xia Ping, and his body was filled with a terrifying killing intent. "Human, I want you dead." Scorpion 13's face was ferocious. He roared and instantly took out a black talisman. With a bang, he tore the talisman into pieces. With a whoosh, the talisman fragments turned into a ball of black energy and quickly fused into one. A black scorpion demon formed from energy appeared in the air. Its body was filled with a terrifying demonic aura that covered the sky and earth. It seemed to have reached the Grandmaster realm of being one with the world. With just a slight wave of its pincers, the energy slashed and instantly split the ground. What's going on? This is a Grandmaster realm demon. Xia Ping immediately felt that the black scorpion demon that suddenly appeared was actually at the Grandmaster realm. Its aura was even more terrifying than the Western Desolation City's city governor, Guodong Hai. It was only flying in the air without moving, but just by relying on its aura, it could crush a huge rock into pieces and crack the earth. The problem was, weren't Grandmaster realm creatures not allowed to appear in the demon spirit mine? Why could this demon appear in this place? Xia Ping was puzzled. "You actually forced me to use the life-saving talisman that my father gave me, the Demon King talisman." Scorpion 13 clenched his fists and was extremely furious. "If I don't torture you until you're deformed, I won't rest." He was extremely resentful. Just because Xia Ping destroyed the plan that he had painstakingly prepared for several years, he hated Xia Ping to the bone. Even the waters of 3 rivers couldn't wash it away. And now this kid was even more ruthless. He killed all the elite subordinates by his side, making him a lone commander. This was simply a hatred that would not rest until one of them was dead. He had already thrown caution to the wind and immediately took out his final trump card. Demon King Talisman. Xia Ping's eyes revealed a trace of coldness. He had heard of such a term before. It was said that after reaching the King realm, the energy within one's body would undergo a great transformation and be reborn. One would be able to create the legendary ancient talismans, and one would even be able to refine various treasures with incredible abilities. Furthermore, every single ancient talisman contained terrifying power. They could control fire, control ice, travel through space, control the earth, and so on. They were extremely mysterious. This Demon King talisman was probably a very powerful talisman created by the Black Scorpion King. It contained a trace of the Black Scorpion King's power, and could be used to condense an energy puppet, which was equivalent to an outer body incarnation. This puppet had the battle strength of the peak of the Grandmaster realm. However, to create such a talisman required a great deal of energy and resources. Therefore, every talisman was extremely precious and would not be used unless it was a matter of life and death. As for why the Demon King talisman could be used, it was probably because it was recognized as a weapon by the laws of heaven and earth and not a living being. That was why there were no restrictions. You actually have such a trump card? Seems like you have a deep foundation. Xia Ping's eyes flickered as he stared at Scorpion 13. Deep your ass. Scorpion Shursan roared. You're about to die. Yet you're still putting on an act here. Don't think that you can survive just because you have 2 artifacts. Under the power of the Demon King talisman, only death awaits those who have not reached the Demon King realm. However, I have to thank you because after I kill you, I can get 2 artifacts. It can barely make up for my previous losses. I won't lose everything. It looked greedily at the golden light mirror and the hell spear in Xia Ping's hands. Now the Sky Demon installation array that it had built was completely destroyed, and all the resources it had spent were all for naught. Even its elite subordinates were all dead. It was now all alone, with not even a single hair left. Therefore it wanted to rob all of Xia Ping's belongings so that it could reduce its losses. However, looking at the power of the two artifacts, they seemed to be extremely extraordinary and valuable. If it could obtain them, it might not only be able to pay off all its debts, but it might even be able to make a fortune. This was considered a great fortune amidst the misfortune. Hearing this, Xia Ping instantly laughed. I killed all your subordinates. I killed you so much that you became a general without a leader. I even beat you until you were half crippled. It was a tragic sight. Now, you want to kill me and take my treasures just because of the Demon King talisman? You're a little too arrogant. He looked at Scorpion 13 indifferently. Bullshit. Scorpion 13 sneered. Who's the arrogant one? Do you know what the Master Realm is? Condensing earth energy, becoming one with nature, superb martial Dao skills, and fighting an army alone. That's the Master Realm. Such a person can kill you with one hand like an ant. You won't be able to struggle. I don't want to talk nonsense with you. I'll kill you with one slap, human. Go up and kill him. It controlled the Demon King talisman and ordered the energy puppet to kill Xia Ping. Boom! As soon as the black scorpion puppet moved, a terrifying aura exploded with its body as the center. The aura seemed to oppress everything within a few kilometers and the ground shook. A mere martial master was simply an ant in front of a master realm. Whether it was in terms of power or understanding of martial Dao, the difference was huge. It was like the difference between a rabbit and a tiger. Even if dozens of rabbits attacked together, they would be easily killed by the tiger. Ridiculous. Xia Ping said calmly, you have a trump card, but do you think I don't have one? With a swoosh, he immediately took out 2 or 3 watermelon-sized miniature nuclear bullets from his spatial ring. These miniature nuclear bullets were military contraband and were not allowed to circulate in the market. However, in order to ensure Xia Ping's safety and prevent this genius from Yanhuang University from being killed by the Demon Clan, Guodong Hai, the governor of Western Huang City, transferred 2 or 3 miniature nuclear bombs from the military base. The purpose was to be prepared. Fuck. Seeing Xia Ping take out 3 miniature nuclear bombs, Scorpion 13's face turned green. He had fought with humans countless times, and the Demon Clan and the Human Clan had also experienced countless wars. It was impossible for him not to recognize such a terrifying weapon. However, he never thought that such a weapon of war would be carried by a human. It was against the rules. Once it was detonated, even a Master Realm would be blown to pieces. Only a King Realm cultivator could survive. Wait, stop right now. Scorpion 13 immediately shouted. His face was pale and his body was trembling. Let's talk this out. Don't detonate the nuclear bombs. Don't accidentally detonate them. Talk my ass. Xia Ping was too lazy to talk nonsense with him. Just now this guy relied on the Demon King talisman and was so arrogant that he wanted to kill Xia Ping with one slap and rob him of his treasure. Now, seeing that Xia Ping had a nuclear bomb that could kill Xia Ping, he wanted Xia Ping to stop. That was simply a dream. You're crazy. Chapter 476. No matter how arrogant Scorpion 13 was, Xia Ping still threw the 3 miniature nuclear bullets. His power was great, and the angle was accurate as he smashed them towards Scorpion 13. At the same time, he quickly entered the space within the spatial ring and hid. Block it. Block it immediately. Scorpion 13's face turned green as he quickly fled into the distance. At the same time, he controlled the Demon King talisman in an attempt to block the 3 miniature nuclear bullets. The energy puppet had no emotions and did not know fear. With a swoosh, it immediately flew up and wrapped around the 3 miniature nuclear bullets. Bang! The 3 miniature nuclear bullets immediately exploded, shaking everything within a 10-kilometer radius. A terrifyingly deep pit immediately appeared in the center of the explosion. The pit was several tens of meters deep, and the surrounding boulders were all blasted into powder. A black mushroom cloud instantly rose into the air, and a terrifying heat filled the surroundings. The ground also began to crack, extending for several kilometers. Although the power of the 3 miniature nuclear bullets was not as great as the explosion of the Sky Demon's formation, it was still an unparalleled power for a Grandmaster. In an instant, the energy puppet was blown into pieces. The energy of the Demon King talisman was used up, and it disappeared from the world. Scorpion 13 was also hit by the huge energy, and was sent flying a few kilometers away. He fiercely smashed into a mountain wall in the distance, creating a huge pit with rubble rolling down. However, because the energy puppet went forward to block it, the power of the 3 nuclear bullets was reduced by more than half. Scorpion 13 was only slightly injured and did not die from the explosion. With a swoosh, Xiaoping once again came out of the spatial ring after sensing that Scorpion 13 was still alive. He chased after him. TSK, you actually survived the explosion of 3 miniature nuclear bullets. As expected of the demon race. Let's not talk about your battle prowess. Your life force is really tenacious, comparable to a cockroach. He was very emotional. Even this couldn't kill Scorpion 13. The life force of the demon race was really too tenacious. Human, don't go too far. Scorpion 13 struggled with a terrified expression. My father is the demon king of the 72 caves. If you kill me, do you know how big of a disaster it will be? A war will break out between the human race and the demon race. At that time you will be the main culprit. No one will let you go. Even my father, the Black Scorpion King, will not let you go. Even if you enter deep into human territory, he will still capture you and kill you. His tone was full of threat, trying to intimidate Xiaoping. Oh, then tell your father to kill me. I'll wait here. Xiaoping was expressionless as he slammed his palm down from the sky. He did not care about Scorpion 13's threat at all. A terrifying shockwave spread out like a ferocious bear descending. Against such an enemy, he would never let the tiger return to the mountain. Moreover, killing a demon king's descendant would cause a war between the demon race and the human race. This brat really thought too highly of himself. Not to mention the death of a demon monarch's descendant. Even if a demon monarch died, war would not break out easily. After all, it had only been 100 years since the war between the human clan and the demon clan. Both sides had suffered heavy losses and were still licking their wounds. How could they choose to go to war over such a small matter? Scorpion 13 thought too highly of his intelligence if he wanted to fool him. Madman! Seeing this, Scorpion 13 knew that his words could not scare Xiaoping. He operated the demonic energy on his body, and with a bang the poisonous aura on his body exploded. With his body as the center, a radius of 1 kilometer was filled with a black poisonous aura. All living beings within this radius would be quickly poisoned to death. Not even a blade of grass would grow. Even the ground seemed to have been corroded and turned into a black swamp. This was the Scorpion race's secret technique. It could release all the poisonous aura on his body in an instant and poison the enemy to death. Thus he would have a chance to escape. This escape technique was almost always successful. However, to use this secret technique, one had to pay a huge price and consume their life force. However, in order to survive, it was worth it to sacrifice a bit of life force. Burn! Xiaoping operated the pure yang immortal art. The flames on his body immediately exploded and covered his body. With a whoosh, the surrounding poisonous mist was burned to ashes, purifying the area within a radius of several hundred meters. And because of this delay, Scorpion 13 managed to escape more than a kilometer. Damn, even this poison can't kill him. What a monster! Scorpion 13 cursed. Although he already knew that his poison couldn't kill Xiaoping, he still had some hope in his heart. However, seeing that Xiaoping was still standing in the same place, alive and unharmed, he still felt wronged. Just you wait. Scorpion 13 clenched his teeth. Wait until I escape from here. I swear that I will use all means to take revenge. At that time, whether it's you or your family, they will all die with you. I will exterminate your entire family. He was a petty person who would seek revenge for the smallest grievance. He was narrow-minded, cruel, and merciless. Anyone who offended him would think of all means to take revenge until the other party was all dead. Want to run? Xiaoping's eyes revealed a trace of coldness. With a swoosh, he immediately took out the hell spear. He stood on the ground and immersed his mind power into it. He held the hell spear tightly in his right hand. The black aura on it surged as if the power of hell was coming out. The inscriptions on the spear emitted a black light that was extremely evil. Boom! In the blink of an eye, he smashed the spear in Scorpion 13's direction with one hand. The hell spear tore through the air. There was a violent rotation of true yuan on it, forming a strong wind. What? Before Scorpion 13 could figure out what was going on, the black spear was immediately thrown over. With a dong sound, it instantly pierced through his body's demonic power and pierced through his chest. Blood immediately splattered everywhere, and a large amount of blood sprayed out. At that moment, his body froze in midair as if he was nailed by the spear in midair. The hell spear pierced through his body and crazily rotated. This. Scorpion 13's eyes widened as if he couldn't believe it. An intense pain instantly spread to his head. At that moment he finally realized that his heart had been pierced by the spear. Damn it! Scorpion 13 let out a long roar of grief and indignation. He was the descendant of the Black Scorpion King. He had a boundless future, and was a great monster that would inherit the throne of the Black Scorpion King. He even had a trace of hope to control the Wanyao Mountain and rule over thousands of monsters. But now he was actually killed by a lowly human who pierced his heart with a spear. All of his great ambitions, all of his ambitions, and all of his plans were shattered by this spear. How could he be willing to accept this? However, no matter how unwilling he was, he couldn't avoid the fate of death. With a bang, his corpse fell from the sky and smashed onto the ground. Chapter 477. Whoosh! Xiaoping's body flickered and he arrived in front of Scorpion 13. He used his mental energy to check and confirmed that Scorpion 13 was dead. His life force had completely disappeared. Even a deity could not save him. This is the calming pearl? Xiaoping grabbed with his hand and a crystal-like pearl from Scorpion 13's body fell into his right hand. He could feel that this pearl seemed to contain a mysterious energy. Boom! He subconsciously poured his quintessential qi into it. Immediately, the pearl exploded with a golden light. It instantly enveloped his body and even seeped into the depths of his soul. What a warm feeling! Xiaoping closed his eyes and felt that his body was warm. It was as if the sun was shining on him. Even the power of his soul seemed to be nourished. It was as if under the protection of this golden light, no evil power could hurt him. The demonic qi in the surroundings would be quickly pushed away and isolated. This pearl even emitted a warm energy that could nourish his soul and slowly increase his mental energy. Without a doubt, this was an incredible treasure. What a good treasure! Xiaoping was very satisfied, and immediately kept the soul-calming pearl. Then he turned his head to look, and immediately felt waves of boundless energy coming from the deep pit not far away. The black qi shot up into the sky, as if a great demon had descended. Whoosh! He immediately jumped into the pit. Looking down, he immediately saw dozens of black stones piled up on the ground. It was these stones that emitted the boundless demonic qi. Demonic spirit stones. Xiaoping quickly recognized these black stones as the legendary demonic spirit stones. It was said that these were treasures of the demon race. They contained a majestic energy and were cultivation treasures. If a demon could swallow a demonic spirit stone, it could save a year of cultivation. There were many benefits. However, it had no effect on humans. After all, these demonic spirit stones contained a majestic demonic qi. It was completely different from the quintessential qi in a human's body. If they swallowed it rashly, the demonic qi would clash with the quintessential qi in their body, and they would explode. After many humans obtained demonic spirit stones, they usually traded with the demon race to exchange for various treasures that humans needed. However, Xiaoping was different. He cultivated the pure yang immortal art. This was a cultivation technique that surpassed the king realm. After he advanced to the martial master realm, a solar furnace was formed in his body. By relying on the sun furnace, it could refine all sorts of strange energies in the world, purifying the impurities and transforming them into pure yang true qi to temper its body. Such an ability was simply unfathomable. We're rich this time. Xiaoping stretched out his hand and immediately grabbed 50 to 60 demon spirit stones from the hole. He was not surprised as to why so many demon spirit stones would appear in this place. After all, this place used to be in Irvine. Even though it looked like the demon race had completely mined it, even a rotten ship would still have 3 nails. It was not surprising that some fish had slipped through the net. After the 2 explosions, the ground cracked open, exposing some of the demon spirit stones inside. Refine. Xiaoping's heart stirred. Large amounts of flames gushed out of his hands, instantly condensing into a huge sun furnace. The dark red flames burned crazily. As for the 10 demon spirit stones in his hands, they were instantly refined by the flames. Large amounts of demonic qi were incinerated cleanly, turning into balls of black mist that disappeared into the air. In just a few breaths of time, these 10 demon spirit stones were transformed into a ball of pure life energy. Although the energy was less than half of what it was before, it was still extremely beneficial to cultivators. If other human cultivators were to see this scene, they would definitely be scared out of their wits. To be able to completely refine demon spirit stones into life energy, completely eradicating the demonic qi, and using it for one's own use, this was simply an unfathomable method. Even King Realm experts would not be able to imagine such a method. It was beyond their comprehension. Rumble Xiaoping revolved the pure yang immortal art, and instantly absorbed this ball of energy into his body, fusing it into the depths of his dantian. It was incinerated by the sun furnace and rapidly transformed into a large amount of true yuan. He could feel the true yuan in his body increasing by a large amount, filling up every single meridian in his body. His body swelled up as his qigong revolved to its limits. Bang bang bang. At this moment, Xiaoping could feel the majestic true yuan penetrating through every meridian in his body. It was as though a new river had been opened up, allowing him to contain even more true yuan. And one of the hell golden crow cells in his body seemed to be refined by the surging true yuan. His body seemed to be enveloped by this surging energy, constantly being tempered and evolving. The surface of his body seemed to be surrounded by a layer of golden light. From afar he looked like a fiend god. The area within a radius of 100 meters seemed to have formed a unique aura at this moment. Any demonic qi that wanted to approach would immediately be completely purified by this ball of golden light. The night passed very quickly. A ray of sunlight appeared in the sky, shining through the dark clouds. Who? Xiaoping, who was in a meditative state, sat cross-legged on the ground. He slowly opened his eyes, revealing a frightening radiance. After a night of cultivation, he had absorbed the energy of those 10 demon spirit stones cleanly, leaving not a single drop behind. At the same time, with the help of the surging true yuan, he had consecutively penetrated through 6 meridians. He only needed to penetrate the remaining 3 or 4 meridians to reach the peak of the 3rd level of martial master. At this moment, Xiaoping's true yuan and mental energy had been greatly enhanced. His spirit was unprecedentedly full, and the fatigue from last night's battle had all disappeared. Absorbing the energy of a dozen demon spirit stones today is already my limit. After a few days, when my body adapts, I can absorb again to strengthen the true yuan in my body. Xiaoping clenched his fists, feeling very excited. With the help of the demon spirit stones, he could speed up his cultivation and get closer to the king realm faster. But what should I do with these dead demons? Xiaoping stood up and rubbed his chin. He looked at the demon corpses scattered around him, including their leader, Scorpion 13. Their corpses were all lying quietly on the ground, without any signs of life. If he left like this, who knew how long it would take for the Black Scorpion King to find out that its son had been killed? At that time, even if it knew that its son had been killed, it would be very difficult to find out who the murderer was. In this case, it would be very difficult for him to gain much hatred. As for the Black Scorpion King's revenge, he didn't need to worry about it. As long as he was in the human territory, even if the other party was one of the 72 demon kings of the caves, they couldn't do anything to him. With so many King Realm experts guarding it, it wouldn't dare to come to the human country unless it was tired of living. It was different from the Wolf King Niawudao. After all, the Black Scorpion King was the king of the demon race. No matter how long its arm was, it couldn't reach here. It was like the governor of the United States on Earth. Even if he was extremely powerful, he couldn't control a small county in China. Chapter 478. I'm finally out. Xiaoping spent a few hours and finally came out of the demonic spirit vein. He looked at his smartwatch and found that there was finally a signal and he could connect to the internet. Inside the demonic spirit vein, The magnetic field was chaotic and the space was isolated. There was no way to connect to the internet. Once he came out, Xiaoping immediately logged into the internet and went to the school forum. He posted a post. Last night I went to the demonic spirit vein and encountered 2 or 3 small demons. I killed them all. He also uploaded a few blurry pictures on the post. They were all pictures of the scene where he killed Scorpion 13 and the other demons, as well as the pictures of their corpses lying on the ground. Because Xiaoping did not choose to be anonymous when he posted the post, he posted it using his own account. Therefore, Feng Hetong and the others quickly found out that the post was made by Xiaoping. They all went up to support him. As expected of Big Brother. His martial arts are too strong. He can even kill demons. Until now I have never seen a demon. It is said that some demons have 3 heads and 6 arms. They are very fierce. Looking at this picture, there were at least a dozen demons. However, Big Brother killed them all by himself. His martial arts are unparalleled. What kind of dogshit demon is it in Big Brother's hands? They are just floating clouds. They can only die. I'm not bragging. If Big Brother was born during the war between the human race and the demon race, I'm afraid that children would only hear about the legend of the demon race in fairy tales. Isn't that so? Once Big Brother makes a move, we will know whether it is true or not. Those demons are just clay chickens and pottery dogs. If Big Brother is promoted to the king realm, he will definitely be able to sweep the world and be invincible. Feng Hetong and the others posted behind the post one by one. They all flattered Xiaoping. Such words made the surrounding students blush. They were extremely shameless. You are too polite. Xiaoping said proudly, it's just that I easily killed a dozen martial master realm monsters with my bare hands and didn't suffer any injuries. Actually, I'm not invincible. It's said that some monsters have amazing bloodlines and are quite powerful. I can't be arrogant. Of course, when I become the king, those demons are just clay chickens and pottery dogs. They are not worth mentioning. He replied below, expressing that he wanted to be low-key and humble. Oh my god, he easily killed more than 10 martial master realm demons without suffering any injuries. Only Big Brother can do this. Previously, when some of the elite students encountered a martial master realm demon, they were beaten to the point of fleeing like rats, becoming a laughing stock. I did not expect that Big Brother would be able to kill more than 10 of them. With this comparison, the difference is obvious. Big Brother, do you think it's good for you to act so real? You'll easily lose friends like this. But I like Big Brother's style. It's the same taste and the same recipe. A group of Pingtian Gate members replied below, expressing their endless admiration. They were extremely angry. In just a few minutes, there were over 1,000 replies and over 100,000 clicks. Soon it became the most popular post on the school forum. However, very quickly, some people could not stand it anymore. For example, Mu Haoran Ju Zijian, and the others who had enmity with Xiaoping. When they saw this post, all of them wanted to vomit. They were very unconvinced. Bragging, Xiaoping, continue bragging. You even said that you killed more than 10 martial master realm demons with your bare hands. Mu Haoran replied with a sneer. Do you know how terrifying demons are? Their individual strength is stronger than humans of the same level. They are proficient in combat techniques and are natural warriors of slaughter. One demon can fight 3 humans of the same level. If you encounter some demons with amazing talent, humans are even less of a match for them. You even said that you killed more than 10 of them with your bare hands. You can't brag like that. He refuted Xiaoping's post from various angles. He felt that this kid was clearly playing to the gallery. That's right, that's right. If that's the case, you can only fool some ordinary students who don't understand the world. You have no idea how terrifying demons are if you haven't fought them before. Some of them can explode with poison and easily kill dozens of humans of the same level. Some have 3 heads and 6 arms and can control all kinds of weapons. One can fight 10 people. Some have an indestructible body. It's useless no matter how you hit it. Some have wings and can easily soar thousands of meters high in the sky. You can't hit them no matter how hard you hit them. Let me ask you, who do you think you are to want to kill more than 10 of them with your bare hands in the face of such demons? You don't even know how to brag. That's right. You've really come to the wrong place to play to the gallery. Go back and study well. You came here to lie and post without any common sense. How embarrassing. It's really despicable. If the demons saw this post, they would probably mock us humans for being uncultured. It's not Xiaoping's fault. He's just enrolled in school, but he's always stirring up trouble. He's lacking in cultural knowledge. Zhu Zijian and company mocked Xiaoping's ignorance. They felt that he was making things up and playing to the gallery. Many students could not help but nod when they saw these posts. Their words were reasonable and convincing. It had to be said that Xiaoping's claim that he had killed more than 10 demons with his bare hands and remained unscathed was too exaggerated. Feng Hatong and company were infuriated when they saw the contents of these posts. However, the other party's words were too convincing. They had no way of refuting him. Xiaoping did not say anything and continued uploading photos. This time the photos were extremely clear. Every demon could be seen clearly. There were even photos of Xiaoping standing beside them. Haha, see that? You said that Big Bro was bragging. Now you've been slapped in the face. Furthermore, it's at the speed of light. Feng Hatong jumped out and mocked. Do you know what it means to have conclusive evidence? This is irrefutable evidence. All of you are bragging after learning some theoretical knowledge. Who doesn't know that demons are very powerful? However, our Big Bro is even more powerful. He's beyond your imagination. His martial arts are godlike. Things that you've never seen, things that you can't understand can't happen. The frog at the bottom of the well thinks that the sky is only the size of the well. Is the sky really only the size of the well? Just because you can't do it, does that mean Big Bro can't? Stop showing off your monkey-like intelligence. Who's the one making a fool of himself here? Upon seeing these posts, Zhu Zijian and company were extremely aggrieved. They nearly suffered internal injuries from holding back. Some people wanted to question whether the photos were fake. However, the photos were extremely clear. Even the most brilliant photo-retouching expert would not be able to make such a realistic photo. It could be said that the evidence was conclusive, and there was no way to refute it. Humph! However, Mu Haoran did not want to admit defeat. He sneered and said, so what if this photo is real? Killing those martial master realm demons is probably just a bunch of small fries. They're not worth mentioning at all. Is killing a few small fries very glorious? Chapter 479. Yes, you're right. Zhu Zijian's eyes lit up, and he immediately followed. These are probably old and weak soldiers who were lucky enough to run into Xiaoping. He killed a few opponents with low HP, and yet he has the nerve to show off on the forum. I really admire how shameless he is. That's right. Killing a dozen or so demon minions is also worth showing off. Elite students have accomplished so many great feats, but they're not showing off. You, on the other hand, are showing off here. Killing a dozen or so weaklings isn't a big deal. If you have the guts, go kill those Demon King's descendants. Killing those demons with amazing talent is something that's worth writing about. A group of students sneered, belittling Xiaoping's opponents. They thought that they were all ordinary demons that were cannon fodder on the battlefield. It didn't matter how many demons of this level were killed. Some people thought that one had to kill Demon King's descendants. Otherwise, it was nothing and not worth mentioning. The people from the Pingtian sect gritted their teeth. These people were clearly arguing. Previously, they were still bragging about how powerful the demon race was, saying that every demon was talented and could fight 10 people alone. But now, all of them had changed their words, saying that those were demon soldiers, and that any human martial artist could kill one of them. These demon soldiers were nothing at all. Demon King's descendants? The one who died the most was Scorpion Shursan, the son of the Black Scorpion King, the Demon King of the 72 Caves. The rest of the demons were his elite guards. Xiaoping replied on the forum. What? Zhu Zijian and the others were all shocked when they saw this. They had just been looking down on those who died as demon minions, but now the ones who died were Demon King's descendants. What a joke. Who didn't know how powerful Demon King's descendants were? They all inherited the Demon King's bloodline and had amazing talent, possessing all sorts of unbelievable abilities. Who knew how much of a price one had to pay to kill a Demon King's descendant? However, this kid had actually killed one of them and was completely unharmed. How was this possible? They were all dumbfounded and couldn't believe their eyes at all. If he could really do such a thing, then Xiaoping would be quite terrifying. Even the elite students of the school would not be able to do such a thing. Stop bragging. Mu Haoran sneered and said, if you say he's a descendant of the Black Scorpion King, then he's a descendant of the Black Scorpion King. I even said that I'll be the Federation president next year. Does that mean that I'll be elected next year? In any case, we don't know Scorpion 13. You can brag all you want. Now that you've said everything, what else do we have to say? He suspected that Xiaoping was lying. He believed that the dead monster was not the descendant of the Black Scorpion King, Scorpion 13, and that Xiaoping had lied and made up everything. You're right. We've never seen Scorpion 13 before. Who knows if you're telling the truth? If you're bragging, we can't do anything to you. Why don't you take a look at who he is? Do you know what a Demon King's descendant is? Not to mention its strength, it must have a large number of followers around it. There might even be bodyguards in the Guru realm. How could you kill such a person? That's not the way to brag. It doesn't make sense at all. It's getting more and more exaggerated. Why do I feel that your ability to brag is higher than your talent in martial arts? You should be the minister of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Staying in Yanhuang University is a waste of your talent. Many students mocked and ridiculed him. They thought that Xiaoping's words were getting more and more absurd. He killed a few monsters, and yet he said they were the descendants of a demon king. It was too exaggerated. What was a descendant of a demon king? That was not a simple term. Every demon king built a monster kingdom in the cloud realm. They ruled over billions of small monsters and had great power. Such a person was the king and had the power to kill. With one command, blood would flow like a river and corpses would be scattered for thousands of miles. And the descendants of a demon king were princes, below only one and above millions. How difficult was it to kill such a person? It was like an ordinary commoner trying to assassinate a prince in ancient times. It was simply unimaginable. It was not an exaggeration to say that it was a fantasy. Whether I'm bragging or not, won't you know if you check it out? It's the age of the internet. If you really want to check, what can't you find out? Xiaoping said lightly. He did not refute it. After all, facts spoke louder than words. Okay, I'll go check it out and see if this dead monster is really the son of the Black Scorpion King, Scorpion 13. If I find out that you're bragging or lying, don't blame me for slapping your face in public. A student shouted. Whatever. Xiaoping only said 2 words. A student said, okay, wait for me. Those who could enter Yanhuang University were all geniuses. They either had impressive talent or amazing family backgrounds. Naturally, they were also very good at gathering information. The human race and the demon race had been fighting each other for hundreds of years. They had infiltrated each other deeply and were on high alert. Therefore, they also paid attention to each other's information. Both sides were very familiar with each other. Therefore, the human race would naturally know about the information of the various demon kings, their descendants, and other simple information. After all, this was not top-secret information. Although this information would not be published in public, it was still known by the big families. As long as someone investigated it, they would know very clearly. In just half an hour, someone used their family's power to find information about the Black Scorpion King's son. They immediately went online and said, indeed, the Black Scorpion King has a son called Scorpion 13. Moreover, he is the Black Scorpion King's most beloved descendant. He is thought to be the next Black Scorpion King, the Crown Prince. Then is the dead monster Scorpion 13? Someone asked. That person hesitated for a moment and said, This just by looking at this picture, the two of them do look very similar. No, it should be said that they are exactly the same. What kind of evidence is this? If there are 2 identical Scorpion 13 in this world, then this Black Scorpion King's descendant might not have been killed by Xiaoping. Mu Haoran and the others were still reluctant to admit this matter. But at this point, even they couldn't believe their own words. The dead monster was undoubtedly the Black Scorpion King's descendant, Scorpion 13. This was because to find a second monster that looked exactly the same was really too difficult. Many Yanhuang University students were also shocked. If this news was true and Xiaoping did not lie, then wouldn't this Scorpion 13's death be an earth-shattering event? A demon king's descendant had died, and it was the crown prince of a country. He was killed, and a picture was even taken and uploaded to the forum. Chapter 480. The Internet had no boundaries. Although Xiaoping killing the Black Scorpion King's descendant, Scorpion 13, was only discussed on Yanhuang University's forum, the news quickly spread throughout the human world. Some students posted the post on the largest forum in the Cloud Realm. Countless warriors in the Cloud Realm knew about it, causing a huge sensation. Amazing! The Black Scorpion King's son, Scorpion 13, was killed. I heard about it too. It was said that the person who killed him was a freshman from Yanhuang University. His name is Xiaoping. Are you for real? Are you bragging? A freshman can kill Scorpion 13? Doesn't he know that he is a martial master realm monster? How could he kill him? I don't know what method he used, but Scorpion 13 is indeed dead. The photos are out. The evidence is conclusive. Tisk tsk, this Yanhuang University freshman is really bold. He even killed the Black Scorpion King's son. When the Black Scorpion King is angry, I don't know how terrifying it will be. Blood will flow like a river. The new generation surpasses the old. He even dared to kill the Demon King's descendant. I only thought about it and never dared to do it. Everyone was discussing this earth-shattering event. After all, a Demon King's descendant was killed. Even in the chaotic Cloud Realm, it was still a big deal. The Black Scorpion King's reaction had become the focus of many warriors' discussion. Some people thought that this might be the fuse for another war between the human and demon clans. Madman, this kid is definitely a madman. He never thought of the consequences. Doesn't he know how terrifying it is to kill a Demon King's descendant? Someone cursed. If a war between the human and demon clans is triggered and blood flows like a river, then this kid will be a Class A war criminal. He must be sent to the military court and become a scapegoat. I think we should capture this kid and send him to the demon clans to appease their anger. This is the only way to avoid war. Some people could not help but nod. It had not been long since the last war between the human and demon clans. The haze of war still shrouded many people's heads. If another war broke out, who knew how many people would die? Xiaoping was also concerned about this situation. If the public opinion continued like this, he might become a scapegoat. At that time, it would be impossible for the federal government to not punish him. No, he had to turn the situation around. After thinking about it, Xiaoping immediately went to the largest forum in the Sky Realm and retorted, "Everyone, don't listen to this demon clan spy's nonsense. This brat is just saying that we humans are afraid of the demon clan and lowering our morale. Just because you're a cowardly bandit, you think that all of us humans are the same? What a joke. If the demon race attacks, I guarantee that this fellow will be the first to defect and become a traitor. Everyone must pay attention to this person." When arguing with others on the internet, regardless of whether they were right or wrong, the first thing to do was to label them and send them to the 18th level of hell. This kind of fighting method was simply successful. When some people saw these words, they could not help but feel a sense of agreement. It was just killing a demon, but they actually wanted to capture humans and use them as scapegoats to appease the anger of the demons. This kind of thing was too exaggerated. Once it was done, which human could tolerate it? Didn't this mean that the human race was afraid of the demon race? Before the war had even started, they were already ceding territory and paying reparations. Many people immediately felt disgusted with the person who wanted to capture Xiaoping and send him to the demon race. Fuck, who the fuck is a traitor? Don't talk nonsense here. I'm just stating the facts. That person immediately went crazy. That bastard clearly wanted to smear his name. If the people around him thought that he was a traitor, then how would he be able to go out in the future? He would definitely be looked down upon by countless people. Bullshit. Xiaoping immediately replied, "You don't know anything. Yet you're talking nonsense here. You even want to capture Xiaoping and send him to the demon race. Just based on this point, you are a demon race spy. Do you know why Xiaoping killed Scorpion 13? I received insider information that Xiaoping was sent by the Western Desolation City's city lord to the demon spirit mine to investigate the recent changes in the mine. In the end, he discovered that Scorpion 13 and his group of demons were actually laying down a sky demon infusion formation. Once the formation is activated, It will definitely destroy the formation of the demon spirit mine and cause the demons sealed inside to swarm out. At that time, the dozens of human cities in the Western Desolation City will be plunged into misery and suffering. Who knows how many people will die? In the end, for the sake of the common people, Xiaoping had no choice but to kill him. It can be said that this operation saved who knows how many humans. He explained the reason for Xiaoping's actions. Many people were shocked. This was the first time they heard that Xiaoping killed Scorpion 13 had such insider information. If that was the case, then Xiaoping couldn't be blamed. Don't brag here. According to what you said, not only is this kid not guilty, but he is also a great hero. This is too ridiculous. Someone was not convinced and shouted, "Also, how did you know about this so-called insider information? Could it be that you are Xiaoping himself?" He suspected that the person who made the post was Xiaoping. Otherwise, how could he know so much insider information? Xiaoping didn't want to explain anything, so he directly said, "If you don't believe me, you can go ask the Western Desolation City's city lord. Or go to the demon spirit mine to take a look. Everything will be clear. Facts speak louder than words." Arguing with this kind of person would not yield any results. Anyway, after this matter was blown up, the Federation government would investigate, and they would naturally know whether this was true or not. So that's how it is. If that's the case, then Scorpion 13 really deserves to die. For his own selfishness, he actually wanted to kill over 100 million people in the Western Desolation. If I was there, I would also kill him. If the Black Scorpion King wants to start a war because of this, then we will fulfill his wish. These monsters have already bullied us to this extent. Who can bear it? If it wants a war, then we will give it to it. In any case, in the war between humans and monsters, many kings have fallen. Killing the Black Scorpion King is nothing. It wants to run wild in our human territory? It is not qualified. Back then, when I participated in the war, I killed many monsters and used their heads as decorations. Looks like I can add more decorations now. Many people were furious, especially some of the old soldiers. They were even more furious. A little monster actually ran into the human territory and ran wild, and wanted to kill over 100 million people in the Western Desolation. This was unacceptable. Back then, when they fought with the monster race, they had a blood feud, so this was even more intolerable. If we hand over such a hero to appease the monster race, then who would look down on our human race? Our human race's backbone has been broken. If anyone dares to do this, then that person is a traitor, and I will immediately kill him. Xiaoping was extremely shameless, and he opened a sock puppet to reply. However, this reply was also approved by many people, and they all felt the same. For a moment, the forum was filled with people shouting and shouting, saying that if the Black Scorpion King dared to come over, then they would kill it and make it into a dish. Chapter 481. Because the commotion caused by this matter was too great, the demon race soon learned of this news. They had been fighting with humans for hundreds of years. Although they did not have any technology after so many years, they knew how to use human technology and the internet. There were even quite a number of demons who would often sneak onto the human network to understand all sorts of information about humans. Humans knew about this, but they did not need to stop it. After all, it was not a big deal. It could be said that this was a tacit agreement after many battles between humans and the demon race. Sometimes culture was also a means of war. Letting the demon race familiarize themselves with humans might make some demons identify with humans and reduce their resistance against humans. Over time, most of the demon race learned to use the virtual network. There were even some demons who were extremely smart and built their own demon race forums and web pages. Something big happened in the human race recently. It is said that someone killed the Black Scorpion King's son, Scorpion 13. This matter is known by everyone. A demon immediately spread the news. Scorpion 13? That idiot? I heard about this a long time ago. A demon king's descendant sneered and said, "Its innate talent isn't good, so it wants to play some tricks. It wants to use the Sky Demon installation formation and the Demon King's aura that has been accumulated for 10,000 years to improve its bloodline and even increase its cultivation." He overestimated himself. If this method is really useful, why didn't many demons do it after so many years? Instead, he is the only one doing it. This is because once the evil energy enters the body, it will immediately destroy the body's bloodline. Even a king can't expel it. This is equivalent to cutting off the hope of reaching a higher realm. It thought that it could resist this kind of erosion, and with the help of the treasure bestowed by the Black Scorpion King, it would definitely succeed. But in reality, that is simply impossible. After all, the demonic spirit mine contains a terrifying baleful aura, as well as demonic aura. Even a demon king wouldn't dare to touch it. He was very disdainful of Scorpion 13 and even looked down on him. This was normal. Humans were just one race, but there were many forces inside. They fought with each other and it was difficult to unite. There were many demon races such as the tiger race, bear race, scorpion race, wolf race, fox race, and so on. These races fought with each other before humans came to the cloud world. Some races even had a blood feud with each other. Although they were temporarily united due to the appearance of the human race, it was impossible for them to become friendly with each other. Although Scorpion 13 was an idiot and used evil methods, he was still a member of the demon race. He was killed, so we must avenge him. There were demons who considered problems from the perspective of the big picture. Easy for you to say. How can we avenge him? Do we have to go to the human territory to kill him? Tisk tsk, even demon monarchs do not dare to venture deep into human territory, afraid that they will be besieged and die. Which demon has the ability to venture deep into human territory? That Scorpion 13 ran to the human territory and behaved atrociously. This matter is completely unreasonable. Are we going to start a war between the human race and the monster race for this brat? Don't joke around. Haven't the blood of our monster race been spilled yet? Many demons sneered and did not agree with avenging Scorpion 13. They did not want to casually start a war at this time. It was not beneficial to any race. Alright, don't boost the morale of others and belittle your own. Whether we start a war or not is not something we small characters can decide. In short, let's see what the Black Scorpion King will do. We just have to wait and see. A demon said in a deep voice, "If there's a chance, I'd like to meet that human." Although Scorpion 13 is indeed an idiot, his strength isn't simple either. To be able to kill him alone and even kill his elite guards, his combat strength is indeed extraordinary. A demon's eyes revealed a cold glint. If we can take this human as a slave, he will definitely be a powerful force with endless benefits. It wanted to capture Xiaoping and make him its slave, working like a slave. Interesting. This idea is not bad. Indeed, if we can capture this human who killed Scorpion 13 as a slave, it will be a very honorable thing. This is a slap to the Black Scorpion King's face. It has already lost all its face because of Scorpion 13. Losing it again is nothing. The eyes of some demons flickered, revealing a cold glint. They also began to become interested in Xiaoping. Each of them wanted to capture Xiaoping and make him their slave. Not long after Xiaoping returned to Western Desolation City, the news reached the Black Scorpion King's ears. Its own son was killed in front of everyone, and it was even posted on the internet. This was simply a great humiliation. This kind of behavior completely angered the Black Scorpion King. It was said that on that day the entire cave was destroyed. The mountains within a circumference of 100 miles collapsed and were razed to the ground. Countless demons died. When a king was angry, corpses would float for 1,000 miles. Soon, the Black Scorpion King released a message to the humans, asking them to hand over the murderer who killed its son. They had to kneel and beg for mercy in front of everyone. They even wanted to kill their entire family to serve as a warning to others. Otherwise, it would massacre 10 human cities as revenge. This news caused the entire human world to boil. This Black Scorpion King is too arrogant. It wants us to hand over the murderer and even wants to kill our entire family. What does it think we humans are? Are we its slaves that it can kill whenever it wants? It even threatens to massacre 10 human cities at every turn. It wants to start a war with us humans. We definitely can't agree to it. Otherwise, if every demon king comes to threaten us, we humans will have to retreat. Would we still have any dignity? If it dares to come to human cities, we will kill it. We will kill a demon king. Countless humans were incomparably angry. This Black Scorpion King was too overbearing and arrogant. It simply did not put humans in its eyes and would massacre cities at every turn as revenge. We must kill the Black Scorpion King at all costs. This Demon King is too arrogant. It's already so arrogant because of the death of one of its sons. If we destroy its country in the future, won't we have to cede territory and pay reparations? If we agree to this request now, every Demon King will do the same thing, killing one of its sons to scam the humans. Won't we have to pay reparations? If that happens, no matter how much money we have, it won't be enough to pay, and no matter how many people we have, it won't be enough to kill them. If it wants to fight, then let's fight. We humans are not afraid of death. Some people believe that they had to send kings to kill the Black Scorpion King to scare the monkeys. Otherwise, these demon kings would not know what it meant to fear humans. However, there were some who remained silent because experts at the Demon King level were simply too difficult to kill. Chapter 482. Black Scorpion King. At this moment, a white-robed human king blocked the path of the Black Scorpion King and the other demons. He soared through the air and broke through the void. Even in the face of the million-strong demon army, he was still fearless. The advantage of numbers was useless against experts of this level. What was important was quality. Human. The Black Scorpion King stared at the human king with a gloomy expression. "You want to stop me? Go back." The middle-aged man in white said in a deep voice, "This is the human race's territory. It's not up to you to behave atrociously. You humans killed my son, and you want me to go back and swallow my anger?" The Black Scorpion King sneered. "If you humans don't give me an explanation, hand over the murderer, and slaughter his entire clan, I swear I will not rest." His tone was rude and overbearing. "Your son only has himself to blame for his death." The middle-aged man in white said indifferently, "He dared to come to the human race and cause trouble, so he should be prepared to die. If you don't retreat now, you will die too. The Cloud Realm is not the world of your monster race." Murderous intent surged from his body, not backing down at all. This was the human race's territory, so there was nowhere to retreat. Ridiculous. The Black Scorpion King was so angry that he laughed. "You think you can kill me? Do you think I can only endure when you humans walk all over me? Today, I will massacre 10 cities and kill billions of humans to send my son off. I want to see what you useless humans can do to stop me." As soon as he finished speaking, the two kings began to fight. In the air, two huge balls of energy collided like two suns colliding. The scorching sun was high in the sky, and every collision produced a terrifying burst of energy like a nuclear explosion. Not good. Run, we can't get involved in the battle between the monster kings. Run or you'll die. Many of the demons were alarmed. The terrifying shockwaves were transmitted over and condensed into a corporeal form. Boulders were pulverized one after another. The ground cracked and hundreds of cracks appeared. Some of the nearby demons were instantly blasted into a mist of blood. They couldn't even resist for a second. Although there was an army of millions of monsters, they could not resist. They all fled, far away from the scene of the battle between the kings. Black Scorpion King, let me help you. Suddenly there was a loud roar in the void. Immediately the two demon kings instantly attacked. They rode on the demon wind and flew over from afar. They joined forces to attack the middle-aged man in white. "You have helpers." A cold glint flashed in the middle-aged man's eyes. He could tell that the two demon kings were the Black Scorpion King's good friends, the Centipede King and the Golden Snake King. They were also one of the 72 demon kings, and every single one of them was a terrifying king, not inferior to him. Haha, even if I can't slaughter 10 cities today, I'll at least kill a king. That's enough. Die for this king. The Black Scorpion King laughed loudly. A king-level powerhouse was more important than 10 human cities. As long as he could kill this human king-level powerhouse, his reputation as the Black Scorpion King would definitely skyrocket. Even if they hadn't massacred the entire city, killing a human king was still a great harvest. "You have helpers, Black Scorpion King. Don't tell me I don't have helpers too?" The middle-aged man in white sneered and waved his hand. Immediately, 4 or 5 figures flew out from the distant mountain. Every one of them emitted a mountain-like aura. Every one of them was a powerhouse not inferior to the Black Scorpion King. They were all kings that the humans had prepared. If the Black Scorpion King had come alone, he would not have called for helpers. This was to prevent the monsters from finding trouble with him and saying that he was bullying the weak. However, since the Black Scorpion King had also prepared helpers, it was natural for him to call for his companions. Despicable. Didn't we agree to fight one-on-one? You actually called a few helpers over. This is treachery. This is shamelessness. The Black Scorpion King cursed loudly with an ugly expression on his face. You want to slaughter my human cities? This is a capital offense. I don't care what rules you have. Black Scorpion King, die. The middle-aged man in white snorted coldly, his killing intent soaring. The other 5 kings also made their moves, joining hands to attack the 3 demonic kings. This battle lasted for 1 day and 1 night. The battlefield stretched for hundreds of miles. The earth trembled, mountains collapsed one after another, flattened to the ground. Hundreds of cracks that stretched for dozens of miles appeared. Some of the more daring human warriors secretly came over to watch, but they were all dumbfounded. Such a battlefield was like a scene of a nuclear explosion, leaving behind demon corpses and rivers of blood. Fortunately, this was a battle in the wild. If this had been a battle in a human city, who knew how many people would have died? In the end, the 3 demonic kings were seriously wounded and fled thousands of miles away. The million soldiers of the demonic race were also killed, frantically fleeing. The Black Scorpion King also quickly fled back to his own demonic kingdom. With the protection of the demonic race alliance, the 6 human kings stopped their pursuit of the Black Scorpion King and barely saved his life. Immediately, a high official of the human race suggested to deploy 1 million soldiers and use nuclear bombs to annihilate the demonic kingdom ruled by the Black Scorpion King. They would kill the Black Scorpion King's entire clan to warn others. When this news came out, the Black Scorpion King immediately asked for help from the Thousand Monster Mountain. Its face was green, and it was incomparably regretful. Originally, it didn't want to really massacre 10 human cities. It just wanted to put on a show and show off the Black Scorpion King's bravery. Otherwise, if it remained silent and indifferent even when its own son was slaughtered, which demonic king would look up to it? Wouldn't that mean that the Black Scorpion King was a cowardly bandit that didn't even dare to make a sound when someone was riding on its head? Therefore, it brazenly attacked without hesitation. If it was lucky and could kill a king or slaughter a few human cities, then it would be rich. It would have made a huge contribution, and it might even attract the appreciation of the Thousand Monster Mountain. However, who would have thought that this human was cruel to this extent? Not only did he seriously wound it, but he also chased it away like a dog. He even wanted to destroy its country. Immediately, it knew that the matter had become big and could not be controlled. If the human race really deployed 1 million soldiers, and all kinds of human kings arrived, the Black Scorpion King would definitely die without a burial place. At this time, a big boss of the Thousand Monster Mountain also spoke. If the human race continues to take actions to destroy the stability of the region and try to destroy the peaceful coexistence of the human race and the demonic race, then the Thousand Monster Mountain has already prepared for another war. Its tone was very unyielding, and it didn't hesitate to fight. There was also a big boss of the human race who stood out. The human race doesn't have any disagreement on the issue of peace. Our standpoint is clear, and nothing has changed. However, some forces vainly want to bully and humiliate the human race, slaughtering cities at every turn. They are arrogant and conceited. We, the human race, will not be lenient toward such forces. We will kill every one of them, until the weeds are completely eradicated. I hope the Thousand Monster Mountain can face the needs of the human race. Take the big picture into consideration, and don't act blindly without thinking. Chapter 483. Another leader of the Monster Clan stood up and said, "Our Monster Clan has as many experts as the clouds and Monster Kings as the rain. We have over 10 billion soldiers. If the human clan dares to act rashly, they will be exterminated. We solemnly warn the human clan that the consequences will be severe. Do not say that we did not warn you. The Monster Clan displayed the combat power of the Monster Clan. Even though it had only been a short time since the last war, they would not be afraid of the threat of the human clan. They would not dare to shed all pretense of cordiality and start a war. The human clan will hold a military exercise at the northern border for 3 days. I hope that the Monster Mountain will be graced with your presence. The leader of the human clan was very direct. He immediately announced a military exercise for the human clan. This time, the military exercise intended to display the human clan's most advanced war weapons in order to intimidate the Monster Clan. For a moment, the atmosphere between the human clan and the Monster Clan was tense. Conflicts and small frictions appeared from time to time at the border. The dark clouds of war shrouded the entire cloud realm. It seemed that whoever fired the first shot would cause the entire barrel of explosives to explode. The war was on the verge of breaking out. It's over. This time, the war between the Monster Clan and the human clan will really break out. It's been less than 100 years since the last war. How many people will die this time? No matter how many people die, we can't let the Monster Clan push their luck. If these monster kings slaughter human cities at every turn, how can our lives be guaranteed? This time we must kill the Monster Clan and let them know what pain is. That's right. Do you want to talk about morality with those monster kings? You won't even be able to finish talking before they eat you alive. Only cannons and firearms can let them know what respect is and what awe is. Countless people were also discussing this on the internet. This matter was too big. Once a war broke out, the entire Cloud Realm would be affected. At this time, among the Monster Clan, the Ape Clan had always been very peaceful. Because they were similar to each other, they were the friendliest to the human clan. Their stance was also neutral. This time they also stood up and acted as peacemakers. A leader of the Ape Clan said that the human clan and the Monster Clan could actually coexist peacefully. There was no need to start a war. Everything could be discussed and there was no need to act blindly without thinking. It also proposed 5 principles of peaceful coexistence between the human race and the demon race. Mutual respect for each other's sovereignty and territorial integrity, mutual non-aggression, non-interference in each other's internal affairs, equality and mutual benefit, and peaceful coexistence. This ape elder's words were very influential. Under its mediation, the humans and demons began to calm down, and the higher-ups began to interact with each other. In fact, the demon race and the human race did not intend to start an all-out war. After the last war, they both knew that they were not ready for war. If a war were to break out now, it would only bring harm and no benefit. Therefore, with the words of the great ape race, it gave both parties a way out of this embarrassing situation. After a few days, after negotiations between the higher-ups, both sides signed a secret agreement. The Black Scorpion King agreed to compensate the human army for their losses, so the disturbance this time quickly disappeared. At this moment in the Western Desolation City, in the living room of the City Lord's mansion, Tisk, Xiaoping sat on a chair and heard the news of the peace treaty between the human race and the demon race. He said, "I thought that a war would really break out. I didn't expect it to be all bark and no bite." He grabbed some snacks on the table in front of him, put them in his mouth and began to chomp down. A war? Do you think that a war is a game? How could it break out so easily? Now that a peace treaty has been signed, both sides have a way out. This is a good result. Western Desolation City's City Lord, Guodonghai, looked at the culprit who almost caused a war between the human race and the demon race. This guy did not have the slightest awareness of the disaster he caused. Instead, he ate, drank, and slept well in Western Desolation City for a few days, pretending that nothing had happened. This was really too infuriating. He had never seen such a troublemaker. If he knew that this would happen, he would not have sent this kid to the demon spirit mine even if he was beaten to death. Do you think I wanted to? Seeing Guodonghai's expression, Xiaoping glanced at him. In that situation, I could only kill it. Otherwise, it would be you or all the humans in Western Desolation City dying. What would you choose? This. Hearing this rhetorical question, Guodonghai was momentarily speechless. He did not know how to answer, because Xiaoping's words had indeed hit the nail on the head. If Scorpion 13 did not die, then the humans in Western Desolation City would die. If I was there at that time, I would definitely choose Scorpion 13 to die. Guodonghai clenched his fist. There was no other way. He could not let the humans in Western Desolation be killed by Scorpion 13. Because of this, the higher-ups of the human race knew that this matter was unavoidable. Even if there was the risk of a war with the demon race, they could not blame Xiaoping. So this is how it is. It has nothing to do with me. It was purely that demon seeking death. It was seeking its own death. Xiaoping stretched his body. Guodonghai said in a deep voice, "Now that you are in the middle of a whirlpool, you are the target of everyone. You have become the enemy of the Black Scorpion King. I am afraid that there are many demons who want you dead. I advise you to leave Western Desolation City immediately. This place is no longer safe." Although the demon race could not openly kill Xiaoping, they could assassinate him. The defense of Western Desolation City was full of loopholes, and it was impossible to prevent the assassination of the demon race. If Xiaoping continued to stay in this place, he would definitely be in danger. I already knew that. This time I came to say goodbye to you, and then I will go back to Yanhuang University. Xiaoping stood up and patted the dust on his body. No one knew better than him how much hatred he had provoked from the demon race, especially the Black Scorpion King. This guy simply wanted to completely destroy him and dismember his body into thousands of pieces. And this action also allowed him to gain more than 15 million hatred points. In addition to the previous hatred points, he now had a total of 20 million hatred points. This was simply getting rich overnight. But the more hatred points he had, the more dangerous he was. After all, this time he had provoked a demon king. The consequences were unimaginable. If not for the protection of the human city, it was estimated that he might be killed by the angry Black Scorpion King and dismembered into thousands of pieces. Well, it's good that you know the danger. Guodonghai nodded. In short, when you return to Yanhuang University this time, don't go out easily. Temporarily avoid the limelight and strengthen your martial arts cultivation as soon as possible. If you can be promoted to the Grandmaster realm, or even the King realm, then there is nothing to be afraid of. He warned Xiaoping. Got it, see you next time. Xiaoping turned around, waved his hand at Guodonghai and left. This kid. Seeing Xiaoping's back as he left, Guodonghai shook his head and sighed in his heart. What a troublemaker. His ability to cause trouble was first class. But if this kid could survive, there would definitely be a place for him in the future. Maybe in the future he would need this kid's help. A day later, Xiaoping returned to Yanhuang University safely on the Light God. Perhaps some demon assassins were afraid of the Light God's attack power, and did not dare to attack at will. Chapter 484. Yanhuang University's Forum. Shocking news. Xiaoping returned from Western Baron City today. Someone saw Xiaoping's private spaceship, Radiant God, arrive at the airport. A post was immediately posted with a photo of Xiaoping at the airport. This post immediately caused a sensation in the entire Yanhuang University. After all, everyone knew that Xiaoping was a famous figure in the entire Cloud Realm. He was known as the mastermind behind the war between the demon race and the human race. Some people almost wanted to send him to the military court and ask him to apologize to the demon race. But in the end, the matter was left unsettled. The brat still survived this disaster unscathed. Indeed, I saw it too. That brat was summoned by the university leaders as soon as he got off the spaceship. This was what an eyewitness said. It can't be. Is it true? He actually came back safe and sound. A student was shocked. The Black Scorpion King clamored that he would kill Xiaoping to avenge his son. Who knows how many demon assassins wanted to kill Xiaoping, but this brat actually came back unscathed. This time the Black Scorpion King really suffered a double loss. Not only did he lose a son, but he was also half crippled by a human king. More than half of his elite troops were killed or injured. In the end, in order to avoid a war between the human race and the demon race, he had no choice but to compensate the human race's losses. It could be said that the Black Scorpion King had lost half of his life. One could imagine how much the Black Scorpion King hated Xiaoping, the main culprit. He had already secretly spread the word that whoever could kill the human Xiaoping would receive a great reward. Now who knew how many demon assassins wanted to cut off Xiaoping's head and receive the reward? Therefore, when the Yanhuang University students found out that Xiaoping came back unscathed, they were all extremely shocked and felt that it was unimaginable. This Xiaoping is really amazing. He almost caused a war between the human race and the demon race, but he actually came back unscathed as if nothing had happened. There's no way to explain this. How strong is this brat's background to be able to protect him? He's simply invincible. Could he be the president's illegitimate son? He caused such a disaster and still came back unscathed. That bastard is simply a natural troublemaker. He caused a lot of trouble in Yanhuang University. Who knows how many people hate him? Now he's actually causing trouble for the demon race. Many students were speechless. They knew Xiaoping's glorious history. Ever since he entered Yanhuang University, he had never been content with his place. He could do anything. The freshmen and seniors of over 100 societies had all been beaten up by this fellow. Who knew how many people were cursing him in their hearts, but he was still alive and kicking. He was simply an unsolved mystery. This is the best. Suji and the other girls also received the news. They were speechless. This troublemaker's ability to stir up trouble was beyond their imagination. He even dared to kill a demon king's descendant. Because of this matter, a war between the human race and the demon race almost broke out. This was too exaggerated. They were unable to imagine what sort of world-shocking event this fellow would accomplish if he were to advance into the king realm. Perhaps the entire sky dimension would be overturned by him. I originally thought he would die on the way back to Yanhuang University. I didn't expect nothing to happen. What a pity. How can that bastard live so long? Can't anyone take care of him? Some students were indignant and bared their teeth. Could it be that the Black Scorpion King is scared and only knows how to talk? It's not scared, but the Black Scorpion King can't do anything to Xiaoping. No matter how powerful it is, can it enter the human race's territory? Unless it's tired of living. That's true. Although the Black Scorpion King is a demon king, he is still the king of the demon race. It's too difficult for him to enter the human race's territory and kill a genius. Before he gets close to the human race's territory, he'll probably be ambushed by many kings. Many students were well aware that under the protection of human experts, it would be more difficult for the demon race assassins to kill Xiaoping in front of so many people. After all, Xiaoping was now an influential figure in the sky dimension. If he were to be killed at this time, it would be a slap in the face to the human race. Hence, with such a tight defense, it was impossible for the demon clan assassins to find any loopholes. Didn't someone say that Big Brother Xiao was bragging? They said that he didn't kill Scorpion 13, but some useless soldiers and crab generals. How are you now? Why don't you jump out and show us how swollen your face is? A member of the Pingtian Gate jumped out and said proudly. Unlike the other students, they were very proud. After all, Xiaoping was the gatemaster of the Pingtian Gate, their boss. Now that Xiaoping was so powerful, they felt proud. Many students had strange expressions. Previously, Mu Haoran, Zhu Zijian, and the others had clamored and mocked Xiaoping on the forum. They thought that Xiaoping was lying, bragging, and that he had no ability at all. They said that Scorpion 13 was a fake and that there was no such thing. Even with the photos, those guys were still stubborn, finding all kinds of reasons to deny it and stubbornly resisting. But now, this matter almost caused a war between the human race and the demon race. Even the Black Scorpion King jumped out in anger. The facts were laid out, and no one dared to say that Xiaoping was bragging anymore. Bastard! Zhu Zijian and Mu Haoran also saw this post. Their faces were as black as charcoal, as if they had been slapped in the face several times. They were so depressed that they wanted to vomit blood. Originally, they wanted to let this matter go. But who would have thought that these despicable people from the Pingtian Gate would be the same as that shameless Xiaoping? They grabbed onto the other party's sore spot and refused to let go. It was too disgusting. Stop shouting. Who knows how swollen their faces are? How would they dare to come out and see people? Aren't they afraid of looking too ugly and scaring the elderly and children? Someone from the Pingtian Gate mocked. They don't dare to see people now? Back then they were very arrogant, refuting us in all kinds of ways, quoting the classics and pretending to be knowledgeable. They even look down on us new students for being uncultured and not knowing the power of the demon race. They're very good at bragging. If they really go to the battlefield, I guarantee that they'll be the first to desert and cry for their parents. If these guys still dare to come out and clamor, then I'll beat them up every time I see them. I hate these kind of idiots who only know how to talk. They don't have any knowledge at all. Zhu Zijian Muhaoren, did you hear that? In the future, behave yourself at Yanhuang University with your tails between your legs. Don't think that you can be cocky just because you're elite students. You're all idiots. A group of Pingtian Gate members mocked Zhu Zijian and the others. These bitches. Chapter 485. Yanhuang University's Academic Affairs Office. At this moment, Xiaoping was in this office. In front of him were 2 or 3 old men, as well as the Academic Affairs Office's director Zhao Yang. However, Zhao Yang, who had the authority of the school and could use Yanhuang University's network at will, was standing behind him like a grandson, not daring to breathe. Because these 3 old men were Yanhuang University's guardian elders with unfathomable martial arts cultivation. The leader was an old man in a black robe. His name was Du Zhe. This elder also came to Xiaoping's villa last time. Director. Seeing these big shots of the school appear, Xiaoping was not afraid at all. He said casually, calling me to this place, have you thought about how to reward me? To be honest, I'm ready to accept all kinds of huge rewards. Even if you take out treasures, dragon blood, or some 10,000-year-old elixir, I won't be surprised. He patted his chest, looking like he would never be proud. Reward. The few elders looked at Xiaoping speechlessly. This kid was too thick-skinned. He caused so much trouble and almost caused a war between the demon race and the human race. It would be good if this guy wasn't severely punished, but he actually shamelessly asked for a reward. He even wanted dragon blood and 10,000-year-old elixir. Why didn't this kid go to heaven? They wanted it too. Don't even think about a reward. Elder Du Zhe said angrily. In short, you got into big trouble this time. You're wanted by the Black Scorpion King. The demon race assassins that want to kill you can probably line up hundreds of kilometers. Fortunately, this is Yanhuang University. The surrounding protection measures are still good. Even if a king-level powerhouse wants to attack, it's impossible. But it's different if you leave the protection range of Yanhuang University. At that time, you will definitely be attacked by demon race assassins. So during this time, don't leave Yanhuang University if it's not necessary. Lilo. He looked at Xiaoping with a serious face. The reason why he wanted to see Xiaoping was to warn this kid. Don't worry, I know. Xiaoping nodded. Elder Du Zhe said in a deep voice, all right, I only came here to warn you. Since you understand your situation, that's for the best. Remember to be well behaved and don't cause too much trouble. Otherwise, Yanhuang University won't be able to handle it. He had a slight headache because of this brat. Although his aptitude was not bad, he was too good at causing trouble. He actually almost caused a war between the human race and the demon race. This kind of thing was really too exaggerated. After knowing about this, he almost had a heart attack. He had never seen such a troublemaker who could do anything. After saying these things, the elders left. All right, the elder has left. Seeing the elders leave, teaching director Zhao Yang heaved a sigh of relief. Staying with these big shots, he didn't even dare to breathe loudly, it was too stifling. He looked at Xiaoping. Now that you've completed your mission, you're officially an elite student. You'll move into Yanhuang University's elite district, where you'll be given a student villa as your residence. Apart from obtaining a villa, the school will also reward you with 100 energy stones and a king-level secret manual in view of your outstanding performance in this mission. He listed out a series of rewards for becoming an elite student. Energy stones? What's that? Xiaoping asked curiously. It was the first time he had heard such a term. Zhao Yang said in a deep voice, the so-called energy stones are made by using high-tech means to purify, compress, and refine the chi of heaven and earth, thereby crystallizing the energy into the shape of a stone. This kind of stone is called an energy stone. Because the energy stones contain extremely pure heaven and earth yuan qi, it is extremely beneficial to martial artists. Absorbing one of these energy stones can save 100 days of cultivation time. Therefore, energy stones are very important to warriors. They are extremely precious cultivation resources. Hearing these words, Xiaping immediately understood. The nature of the energy stones and the demon spirit stones was the same, but the former was a resource created by high-tech means. The latter was a naturally formed resource, similar to coal, but both had the same function. They could assist warriors in their cultivation and had many benefits. Moreover, energy stones did not have the side effects of the demon spirit stones. For humans, it was simply the supreme cultivation treasure. I can also get a king-level secret manual? May I ask what kind of secret manual it is? Xiaping asked. Zhao Yang said, I have a catalog of the king-level secret manuals here. You can choose one yourself. Of course, you can only choose one. With a slap, he waved his hand and a virtual projection immediately popped up. On this projection was the catalog of the king-level secret manuals. This was the top secret information of Yanhuang University. Unless one became an elite student or above, one would not have the authority to know. Xiaping took a look. There were a total of 1 to 200 king-level secret manuals. Each of them was extremely precious. If they were to be put outside, who knew how many warriors would go crazy over them? These were all the treasures of Yanhuang University. This martial arts secret manual. Clapless palm. Very soon Xiaping found a palm technique secret manual that he was very interested in. This clapless palm, as the name suggested, had no rhythm or beat. When it was performed, it was like a heavenly steed soaring through the sky, unrestrained and untraceable. This was a palm that could be executed at will. However, each palm contained tyrannical power that was enough to split mountains. It was extremely powerful. He instinctively felt that this clapless palm was an extremely powerful king-level martial art. It should be known that any palm technique, fist technique, or even sword technique or saber technique had moves and traces. However, this palm technique was a pioneer. It could be executed at will without any fixed moves. It was extremely mysterious. If it was cultivated to the peak, it was unknown how powerful it would be. Clapless palm. Ding Xiaoyang also noticed Xiaping's gaze. He frowned and said, I advise you not to choose this king-level martial art. Although the introduction sounds powerful, it is only a lower king level. Lower king level? Xiaping's eyes lit up. He knew that king-level secret manuals were also divided into different grades. From the highest to the lowest they were peerless, upper, middle and lower. Although there was only a difference of 1 grade between each grade, the difference was like heaven and earth. The value was at least 10 times higher. Even in the cloud realm, most of the king-level martial arts that were cultivated were only at the lower king level. It was extremely difficult to reach the middle king level. As for the peerless king-level martial arts, it was something that could only be encountered by luck. There were not many of such martial arts in the entire cloud realm. Chapter 486. Why is it only king-level low grade? Xiaping looked at Ding Xiaoyang. According to the introduction of this palm technique, this martial arts technique has at least the power of king-level high grade. Once successfully cultivated, it would be unimaginable. That's because this is a flawed cultivation technique. Ding Xiaoyang said in a deep voice, it is a martial arts technique created by a human king, Swordsmanship. It is said that he reached a state of epiphany and inadvertently created it. Therefore, this palm technique has extremely tyrannical power. But after that, he wanted to completely perfect this palm technique, but there was no way. It seems that this has exceeded the scope of his martial arts cultivation. It is impossible for him to take a step forward. This is a wonderful palm technique created in a state of epiphany. It can only be encountered but not sought. He paused for a moment and continued. Here comes the problem. Because this is a flawed technique, it is not perfected at all, so it is extremely difficult to cultivate. This palm technique requires the cultivator to achieve a state where there are no moves in the hands, but there are moves in the heart, and no move is better than a move. This is the realm of emptiness, and the requirements for the mind are extremely high. Many elite students have also tried to learn this palm technique, but so far, none of them have learned it. Zhuangquanqiu. Hearing this, Xiaoping was immediately shocked because this name was simply like thunder piercing the ears. This was a character that appeared in history textbooks, the peak of the human world. The other party had been a hero since the apocalypse of Yanhuang's star. He had experienced several wars and killed many strong enemies. He was still alive today. He was more than 1,000 years old. He was a legendary old monster with a terrifying cultivation base. He didn't expect the clapless palm to be a martial arts technique created by such a person. Seems that you also know Zhuangquanqiu. The dean smiled slightly. Many elite students know that this technique was created by him, so they also wanted to learn it, but they were all defeated. In short, this is a flawed technique and it is extremely difficult to cultivate. Even if you succeed, its power is not necessarily stronger than a king-level mid-grade martial arts technique. It is not worth it for you to choose this martial arts technique. He stated his reasons. At this moment, the system's voice sounded, "Host, a king-level martial arts technique, not recorded in the system has been detected clapless palm. Would you like to scan and record it now?" What? Xiaoping's eyes flashed. He didn't expect that even the system didn't record this martial skill. Originally, he thought that the system was almost omnipotent and all-encompassing, but in fact there were some things that it couldn't do. After all, there were too many martial skills in this world. No matter how powerful the system was, it was impossible for it to know everything. Especially when it came to martial skills created by some martial artists, it was even more unknown. Why do I need to scan and record them? Xiaoping asked. The system replied. This is a very valuable martial arts technique. It already has a hint of the essence of martial arts, but it was limited by the creator's shallow cultivation and limited vision, preventing him from taking a step further. But I have to admit that the other party is indeed talented. This martial arts technique is worthy of being recorded in the system. If the host records this secret manual, he can spend 5 million hatred points to fill in the gaps of this cultivation technique and deduce it to the level of peerless king level superior quality. Xiaoping's body suddenly trembled, and he was completely stunned by the system's news. One must know that the 10,000 Beasts Fist, Immovable Buddha's Palm, 8 Heavenly Dragons Music, Kuanpeng Steps, and Spring and Autumn Sword technique that he cultivated were only at the power of mid-grade king level. But even so, such martial arts skills were enough for him to defeat countless strong enemies. And this clap palm could actually reach the power of peerless king level, which was simply unimaginable. Once learned, he could immediately sweep away a large number of enemies. Of course, the level of martial arts did not represent one's combat effectiveness. Combat effectiveness in one's combat skills, combat awareness, martial arts cultivation technique, strength, speed, experience, understanding of martial arts, etc., are all indispensable. Therefore, sometimes martial artists can also rely on their understanding of martial arts to exert the power of mid-grade king-level martial arts to the extreme, and it is not impossible to keep pace with high-grade king-level martial arts, or even surpass it. Thinking of this, Xiaoping immediately said to Zhao Yang, "I've decided to exchange for this clap palm." Director Zhao Yang took a deep look at Xiaoping and saw the firmness in his eyes. He had said so much, but Xiaoping was still determined, so he would not dissuade him anymore. "Well, since you have decided, then I can't say anything, but it's too late for you to regret it," Director Zhao Yang said in a deep voice, and he no longer dissuaded him. After saying this, he sent the martial arts secret book about the clap palm to Xiaoping's smartwatch through electronic information. Ding, the system said. "Received the clap palm martial arts information, scanning, recording has been successful. Does the host want to spend 5 million hate points to deduce this cultivation technique?" Deduce. Xiaoping didn't say anything and immediately spent 5 million hate points to deduce this cultivation technique. One must know that a normal peerless king level cultivation technique requires at least 10 million hate points, high-grade king level requires more than 1 million hate points, and mid-grade king level requires more than 100,000 hate points. And now it only costs 5 million to deduce the peerless king level cultivation technique, which is already a great bargain. Only martial arts cultivation techniques that are not recorded in the system have such benefits. If it were something else, it would be impossible to do so. With a snap, the system immediately deducted 5 million hate points from Xiaoping, and now he only had 15 million hate points left, reduced by a quarter. Hula. At this moment, images also appeared in the depths of Xiaoping's mind. Figures appeared in the void one after another, performing the clap palm. Every palm strike was untraceable, and there was no trace to be found at all. Such a move was natural and had reached the realm of perfection, and there was no flaw to be found at all. If that was all, it would be fine, but after the system's deduction, the power of this palm technique seemed to have increased by more than 1,000 times, reaching the highest realm, and every palm strike seemed to be able to shatter the vacuum. When the palm was completed, the air vibrated thousands of times, and even the meteorite iron was smashed into powder under such power. The power of the palm was terrifying. Peerless king-level martial arts technique? Clap palm. Xiaoping clenched his fists. It has a total of 9 stacks, and each stack is extremely tyrannical. If the 9 stacks are superimposed, the power is simply unimaginable. A palm in the void can slap a mountain into dust. Chapter 487. Elite Area. After giving Xiaoping his reward, Zhao Yang led him and Xiaoping to the elite area of Yanhuang University. This was a place completely different from the ordinary area. There was a tall wall in front of them that separated the two areas. Without permission, ordinary students couldn't enter the elite area at all. But now that Xiaoping had been promoted to an elite student, he could enter and exit the elite area at will. What rich spiritual energy of heaven and earth! After passing through the gate and entering the elite area, Xiaoping immediately felt that the density of spiritual energy in this place was 10 times, or even more than 10 times that of the ordinary area. This was simply the essence of the entire Yanhuang University. It seemed that the essence of heaven and earth gathered in this place. If a martial artist cultivated here, their cultivation speed could be increased by more than several times. And in this place there were buildings one after another, a vast area row upon row. Vaguely, the distribution of these buildings seemed to be very orderly. Xiaoping sensed that these buildings seemed to have formed a huge array formation, with dragons and tigers coiling around it. Therefore, the spiritual energy between heaven and earth gathered in this area. He could imagine that the layout of this area must have been guided by an expert. This place is the elite area of Yanhuang University. Zhao Yang introduced the place. The entire Yanhuang University's technology center, research center, and training center are all here. It can be said that this is the essence area. Most of the surrounding buildings are high-end laboratories. Scientists will conduct all kinds of experiments and research here, but the information is top secret. Even elite students can't enter and exit at will. They must have the corresponding permission. Otherwise, they will be regarded as spies and killed on the spot by the guards. He pointed out that there were various taboos in this place that couldn't be violated at will, or it would be a disaster. Of course, you don't need to pay attention to these laboratories. Zhao Yang said you only need to know 2 places. One is the resting area for students, and the other is the training area. The resting area is in a residential area in the east. It's very large and easy to find. And the training area is in that place. He pointed to the front. Xiaoping looked in the direction of the finger, and immediately saw a huge tower that towered into the clouds. It was at least 1,000 stories high, and he couldn't see the end of it. It could be said that the most magnificent building in the entire elite area was this tower. This tower is called the Training Tower. The head of teaching smiled. This is where the elite students study and train. Apart from resting and carrying out missions, the elite students basically stay there. The training tower also has many of the world's top training equipment, such as the gravity chamber. After entering, you can feel 10 times, 20 times, or even 100 times the gravity of Yanhuang planet. It can temper your body in all aspects. There's a quiet room. That place emits a unique gas that allows people to quickly enter a meditative state. It's a good place for secluded cultivation. Who knows how many students are fighting to enter, but they have to queue up. There's also a combat room. This place can simulate almost any harsh environment in the world. Elite students can enter this place and experience any dangerous situation in this world. This will greatly increase the survival rate of future adventures. Of course, there are also students who use the combat rooms to fight in the arena. He introduced a lot of information about the training tower. It didn't take long for Xiaoping and Zhao Yang to arrive at the training tower. They came to the first floor of the training tower. This was a huge training ground similar to a martial arts field. Many elite students appeared here, practicing martial arts in this place. Some students slashed with their swords. Layers of sword energy appeared in mid-air, and then condensed together. With a bang, this blow easily cut the titanium alloy metal in front of them into countless pieces. Some students punched like the wind, condensing a fist print in the void. 100 meters away, a hole was formed in the wall in front of them, and the roar was like a war drum or a big bell. Some students used a spear and stabbed it gently. Immediately there was a sound of breaking through the air. The surrounding air rotated as if it was condensed at the tip of the spear in an instant, producing terrible destructive power. Even a fierce beast could not resist this spear and would be pierced in an instant. Amazing! Xiaoping's eyes lit up. Every elite student who appeared here had extremely high martial arts aptitude. It could be said that the students who entered Yanhuang University were considered geniuses, the kind of one in a million. However, the elite students were geniuses selected from many others. Each of them was a monster and had the qualification to be promoted to the king level. Cultivating in this place could be said to be a place of hidden dragons and crouching tigers. In the future, some kings would be born among these students. Hey! Another newcomer? Some elite students on the training ground immediately noticed Xiaoping and Zhao Yang, who came in through the door. A freshman? What's so strange? Didn't the elite student assessment just happen to be held a few days ago? It doesn't matter if a few pass. We'd better practice hard and be promoted to the supreme power realm as soon as possible. No, this freshman is different. He has been in the limelight recently. I don't know how many times more famous than the people here. I see. It's Xiaoping. This is the guy who killed Scorpion 13, the son of the Black Scorpion King. He is the central figure in the war between the human clan and the demon clan. Interesting. He has become an elite student so quickly. I'd like to see how powerful this guy is to cause such a big trouble. Many elite students looked over. They were all very interested in Xiaoping, who had caused so much trouble in the cloud realm. Whoosh! 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 Suddenly, everyone looked over and focused on Xiaoping. They seemed to be wondering how powerful this kid was to be able to kill a demon like Scorpion 13. Kid, you must be Xiaoping. Immediately, a man with a long sword on his waist walked out. He stared at Xiaoping with a faint smile and said, "Are you interested in fighting with me in the combat room? You are a famous person recently. You killed Scorpion 13, so your martial arts must be very powerful." He stepped forward to provoke. "Xiahao!" Zhao Yang shouted angrily. "You are a 6th heaven martial master and have been an elite student for many years. You actually want to challenge a freshman. You are going too far." He could see that Xiahao had bad intentions and wanted to bully the young. No. You are looking down on me," Xiahao said with a smile. If he challenged other freshmen, it would be bullying. But Xiaoping is different. He killed Scorpion 13, so his combat strength is obviously extraordinary. He is different from ordinary freshmen. We are all very interested in Junior Xia's combat strength and want to fight. But if Junior Xia doesn't dare, we won't force you. Chapter 488. Many elite students were watching the show from the side with mocking looks on their faces. In reality, they did not believe the rumors. They said that Xiaoping had killed Scorpion 13 and his bodyguard alone. His battle prowess was extraordinary. They were probably just bragging. After all, there were many ways to kill people, such as nuclear bombs, firearms, and so on. With the help of these high-tech weapons and traps, one could easily kill some monsters. However, this did not mean that the other party's martial arts strength was really strong. Perhaps he would grow in the future, but he was not qualified now. "Oh, you want to challenge me?" Xiaoping raised his eyebrows and looked at the elite student Xiahao in front of him. "No, this is not a challenge, but a duel, a fair duel." Xiahao's mouth twitched. He wanted to correct this point. Now, he finally understood why the rumor said that this kid had a cheap mouth and made countless people want to beat him up. Just based on what he said just now, he felt a fire burning in his heart. What was a challenge? The so-called challenge was the weak challenging the strong, and the young challenging the old. There had never been a strong challenging the weak. According to this kid's words, he was clearly saying that he, Xia Hao, was inferior to him. One had to know that he was a senior who had entered Yanhuang University for many years. Be it age or martial arts cultivation, he was considered this kid's senior. Now that he was lower than this guy for no reason, how could he feel good? Of course I will not bully the weak. I can let the combat room suppress our cultivation to the first heaven of martial master. This way everyone's cultivation will be the same, and it will purely be a competition of battle skills. This is very fair. He looked at Xia Ping to show that he was not bullying the weak. Very fair. Zhao Yang, the dean of students, snorted coldly. Your cultivation is at the sixth heaven of martial master. You have been an elite student for several years and have received a lot of training. Whether in terms of cultivation time or martial arts experience, you are above ordinary students. So what if you suppress your cultivation to the same level? Those who have just been promoted to elite student are no match for you. You have an overwhelming advantage. Also, according to the rules of the training tower, there are usually bets in the combat room. How much do you want to bet with Xia Ping? He saw through Xia Hao's plan in an instant. Not much, just 100 energy stones. Xia Hao grinned and said, Junior, you've just been promoted to an elite student, so you must have received some rewards. It should be easy for you to take out 100 energy stones. So that's how it is. You took a fancy to Xia Ping's energy stones. Dean Zhaoyang stared at Xia Hao. I heard that some of you bullied the newbies and invited them into the combat room for a duel. On the surface it looks like a fair duel, but how can those newbies be a match for you old foxes? Each and every one of them lost their energy stones and suffered a loss in silence. You've made a huge profit. Hearing this, Xia Ping finally understood. These seniors bullied the freshmen because they didn't know the rules, so they challenged the freshmen to a gambling match. The result was obvious. Even if they suppressed their cultivation to the same level, the freshmen would still lose miserably. After all, in terms of talent, everyone possessed top-notch aptitude. However, these seniors had gone through several years of tempering, and the gap between them had become apparent. It was too difficult for a newcomer to win. He looked around and saw Mu Haoren and the others. They also had a gloating look on their faces. They probably suffered a lot of losses in silence. At the same time, they hoped that Xia Ping would be as unlucky as him. Indeed, I made a profit, but I didn't bully them. All of them volunteered. Since their skills were inferior, they had to accept their losses. Xia Hao didn't feel guilty at all. He thought that he didn't break any rules, and even the school couldn't punish him. He said, What do you think? Junior Xia, you're a newly promoted elite this time. You're a big shot in the entire Cloud Realm. Even a Demon King's descendant like Scorpion 13 was killed by you. You're really fierce. 100 energy stones is nothing to a great figure like you. Don't tell me you're afraid and want to run away? He had a sarcastic look on his face. Xia Hao, you're looking down on people. Who do you think Junior Xia is? How can he be compared to ordinary people? Ordinary students might refuse, but he definitely won't. An elite student stood up and shouted loudly. Isn't that right? He didn't even run away when facing those ferocious monsters. Why would he run away from a mere duel? Of course, if he really ran away, I'm a little suspicious. Is he faking it? A national hero doesn't even dare to participate in a fair duel. His nature is obvious. That's too much. Are all of you trying to bully Junior Xia? Don't you have any shame? Let me tell you, it's not a problem for Junior Xia to refuse to duel with you. At most, his reputation will be damaged a little, and he'll be looked down upon. This is a small matter. But then again, he doesn't even dare to accept a fair duel. This is a little too cowardly. One by one, the elite students stood up and echoed each other. It was as if they were performing a skit mocking Xia Ping. Their faces were full of sarcasm, as if they had long joined forces. Some people seemed to be speaking up for Xia Ping, but in reality they were still mocking him. If he refused this duel, perhaps no one would look up to him and he would become a laughingstock. There were 7 or 8 elite students, and they were all Xia Hao's good friends. As for the other elite students, this matter was of no concern to them. and they watched coldly from the sidelines. "All right, if you want to duel, then let's do it," said Xiaoping with a grin. "What?" The surrounding elite students were shocked, as they never imagined that Xiaoping would agree so easily. "Xiaoping!" The dean of students, Zhao Yang, was extremely shocked as well, and he looked at Xiaoping. "But a bet of 100 energy stones is too small, and I'm not interested. If you want to bet, then let's bet something big." Xiaoping stood with his hands behind his back. "A bet of 1,000 energy stones, what do you think?" 1,000 energy stones. Everyone was shocked, and they were dumbstruck as they looked at Xiaoping. After all, even to elite students, 1,000 energy stones was a very large amount. Even though every elite student had a boundless future and obtained the financial support of their clans or various martial arts organizations to assist in their cultivation, it would at least require an elite student to spend 2 to 3 years to earn 1,000 energy stones. Normally speaking, a bet of 100 energy stones could be considered to be not bad. Thus, when Xiaoping suddenly suggested a bet of 1,000 energy stones, it was like a rich man asking a pauper to bet 10 million renminbi. No matter who it was, they would be stunned for a long time and not dare believe their ears. 1,000 energy stones? The relaxed expression on Xia Hao's face vanished as he stared at Xiaoping. Because even though this amount couldn't be considered to be a complete loss to him, if he were to lose it, it would be a heavy blow. This was an amount that required him to think carefully. Chapter 489. Wait. Xia Hao was anxious when he saw Xiaoping was about to leave, and he stopped him immediately. "What's wrong?" Xiaoping said indifferently, "If you want to bet with me, I won't agree if you don't have enough money." All the elite students in the surroundings were surprised. According to Xia Hao's plan, Xiaoping should have been forced into a hopeless situation and had no choice but to agree to the duel this time. But a single sentence had turned the situation around immediately, and Xia Hao was at a disadvantage while Xiaoping was overbearing. Now it was Xia Hao who was in a hopeless situation. If he didn't dare agree, then he would really become a laughingstock. But to be honest, no one had expected Xiaoping to be so daring. Not only did he agree to the challenge, he even wanted to bet 1,000 energy stones. Thus, Xia Hao's imposing manner was instantly suppressed. "Since you have the balls to bet with me, why wouldn't I dare? Someone is giving me 1,000 energy stones. Wouldn't I be a fool if I didn't accept it?" Xia Hao sneered and stared at Xiaoping. He had made up his mind. Although he was slightly shocked by the amount Xiaoping said earlier, he quickly recovered from his shock. This duel was within his grasp. So what if the bet was huge? It was just giving him money. If he was really intimidated by this kid, then he, Xia Hao, would become a laughingstock among the elite students. Very good. Straightforward enough. Xiaoping smiled lightly. He was just worrying that no one would give him money. He didn't expect that someone would stupidly come to him now. This time he wouldn't let it go if he didn't make a killing off this idiot. "Sign the contract, and then we'll go to the combat room on the second floor." Xia Hao gave Xiaoping a contract with a series of legal provisions on it. Xiaoping signed the contract very quickly. Once the outcome of the duel was decided, then both parties couldn't go back on this bet. Otherwise, the Federation government would pursue the matter. "Let's go." Xia Hao was instantly at ease when he saw Xiaoping sign the contract. He turned around and walked up to the second floor, leading the way. "Xiaoping, you're too impulsive. How can you compete with him?" Dean Zhaoyang shook his head and sighed. "Although you're a genius as well, which elite student isn't a genius? Moreover, he has cultivated for a few more years than you, and his martial Dao techniques are extremely powerful. Even if he suppresses his cultivation to fight you, your chances of winning aren't high." He felt that Xiaoping would definitely lose this time, and he would have to compensate 1,000 energy stones. This wasn't a small amount. The other elite students also looked at Xiaoping with pity. They felt that this brat was too stupid and too arrogant. He actually dared to agree to a bet with Xia Hao and took the initiative to raise the stakes. If this wasn't courting death, then what was? He was extremely cautious and understood the principle of a lion going all out even when hunting a rabbit. Swoosh! At this moment his long sword seemed to pierce through the air, exploding with a shocking sword chi. It was like a white ray of light, piercing straight towards Xiaoping. Even the air produced visible ripples, containing terrifying penetrative power. The speed had already surpassed the speed of sound. Once hit, even titanium alloy would be pierced through. Such swordsmanship had reached the acme of perfection. Even Mu Banqing back then couldn't be compared to Xia Hao. He was already an expert at the master level of swordsmanship. He had an extremely deep understanding of swordsmanship. Retreat. Feeling the threat of the sword qi, Xiaoping's figure retreated rapidly. He performed the Kuanpeng steps and a transparent pair of wings appeared on his back. In an instant, he retreated 100 meters to the side. With a thud, the sword qi pierced through the wall of the martial arts dojo behind Xiaoping. There was even a clear crack on the ground. Haha, you were quite arrogant just now. You even wanted to bet 1,000 energy stones with me. Are you bluffing here? Xia Hao laughed out loud. What's going on now? Can you only dodge my attack? Perhaps you're very strong among ordinary students and invincible, which gives you great confidence. But this is the elite zone of Yanhuang University. Everyone here is a genius, a peerless demon. They're not inferior to you. A freshman who hasn't even grown his hair yet dares to come here and behave atrociously. Do you think you're qualified? Today, I'll destroy your prestige and show you that there's always someone better than you. Boom! Chapter 490. Bang! Xia Hao's sword slashed through the air, emitting a terrifying sword qi. It drew an exquisite arc in the air and actually slashed towards Xiaoping's head, containing an extremely sharp attack power. This kind of sword qi was enough to tear steel apart. It was not something that a human's flesh and blood could block. Dodge! Xiaoping's eyes shone. He used his mental power to control everything. He did not panic and used the Kuanpeng steps, like a shadow following the body, controlling the airflow. Borrowing the force of the opponent's body, he instantly retreated a distance of 100 meters. With a boom, a ray of sword qi smashed into the ground, leaving behind a deep gash and cracking sounds. Your martial arts cultivation is not bad, and your progress is godly. However, martial arts techniques are not so easy to learn. It requires a long period of training, constantly fighting with enemies and tempering yourself. Xia Hao walked on the ground, his expression incomparably relaxed and elegant. He held his sword, as if he was a gentleman at a ball. After becoming an elite student, I trained hard every day. Just tempering my sword technique alone takes 5 hours. In fact, in the past 2 to 3 years, I have also sparred with many sword masters and grandmasters, constantly perfecting my martial arts techniques. It can be said that my sword technique has already reached the realm of perfection. You, a freshman, want to compete with me? You must be dreaming. But don't worry, I will immediately wake you up and let you know exactly how big the gap between us is. King Class Sword Technique Yin Yang Wind Blade Sword. At this moment, Xia Hao used the sword technique that he was proud of. Immediately, sword light flashed, and the surrounding air moved crazily. With the help of his powerful qigong, wind blades were condensed. Each of these wind blades contained a terrifying destructive power, like a sharp weapon that could cut through steel. They were indestructible, buzzing in the air, constantly vibrating. So strong. The surrounding elite students were all shocked. Seeing Xia Hao use such a sword technique, all of them were shocked. Although Xia Hao was not the strongest among the elite students, the sword technique that he cultivated made him a threat to everyone present. This king-class sword technique, Yin Yang Wind Blade Sword, had been cultivated by Xia Hao to the realm of perfection. The power of Yin and Yang were perfectly mixed together, causing the sword qi to be boundless and invincible. A single wind blade had the battle strength of a peak first heaven martial master. Now that Xia Hao was controlling dozens of wind blades at the same time, it was as if dozens of first heaven martial masters were attacking Xiaoping at the same time. The power was terrifying. Some elite students believed that Xiaoping was done for with just this attack. Die! Xia Hao roared, unleashing the full power of his energy arts to send dozens of wind blades flying towards Xiaoping. He believed that in the face of such an attack, no matter how exquisite this fellow's footwork was, he would not be able to dodge it. At this moment, Xiaoping took a step forward and formed a circle with his hands. A transparent qi barrier surrounded his body, covering everything within a 1-meter radius with this terrifying qi energy. It was as if Xiaoping were the epicenter of a 1-meter area around him that was completely isolated from the outside world by any means. Dark North Body Protection Technique. Bang bang bang. Dozens of wind blades smashed towards Xiaoping. Like a saw, they crazily collided with the transparent energy shield that Xiaoping had created. They tried to destroy the energy shield and cut it into pieces. But no matter how hard these wind blades tried, they could not damage the energy shield at all. With a boom in a few breaths, these wind blades were immediately shattered. The qi exploded and dissipated in the air. Xiaoping was still standing in the same place and scathed. This is the so-called yin-yang wind blade sword. This is your strongest attack? Are you trying to tickle me? Xiaoping suddenly made a move. He circulated the qigong in his body and punched in the air. Dong! Like a morning bell and evening drum. This kind of fist energy smashed everything and hit Xiaohao's body. In an instant, Xiaohao was sent flying dozens of meters and the qi energy exploded in the air. How is this possible? Xiaohao resisted the churning blood and qi in his body. He was extremely shocked. You can actually easily block my full power attack and even come out unscathed? What kind of protective technique is this? Why is it so strong? He could not believe that such a thing could happen. In the past few years he had fought with countless experts. Some had broken his sword techniques, some had been sent flying by his sword, and some had been evenly matched. But this was the first time he had seen an unbreakable defense. What a powerful protective qigong. Could it be the legendary Golden Bell Canopy? But it doesn't look like it. Many of the elite students were also shocked. They had not expected Xiaoping to be able to block this attack. With such a protective qigong, no wonder this kid is so confident. If Xiaohao can't break this kid's defense, then he's already in an invincible position. Xiaohao is in danger. Many of the elite students could see that Xiaohao was in danger. If he couldn't break Xiaoping's defense, then there was no way he could win. He's just relying on his protective qigong. That's nothing. He can't hurt Xiaohao at all. One of Xiaohao's companions sneered. No matter how powerful his protective qigong is, he still needs to have true energy. As long as Xiaohao continues to use up the true energy in his body, then he'll be finished. At best, this kid is just a tortoise in human form. He still believed that Xiaohao's victory was in his grasp. It was only a matter of time before he won. At this time, Xiaohao had the same idea. Since he couldn't finish off this kid in an instant, he could just slowly use up Xiaoping's true energy and slowly grind him to death. Although this method was a bit inefficient and would take a long time, he didn't lack patience. I didn't expect you to only have this much strength. I'm a bit tired of it. Xiaoping suddenly opened his mouth and looked at Xiaohao indifferently. Originally, he wanted to see what his opponent was capable of. Perhaps he could use it to hone his martial skills. But now it seemed that even his defense couldn't be broken. So there was no need to continue. What, tired of it? Before Xiaohao could figure out what this meant, Xiaoping instantly made his move. He slapped the void with his palm. Clapless palm. This palm was like a heavenly steed soaring through the sky, unrestrained and untraceable. Xiaohao had no idea when Xiaoping made his move. He couldn't even see the angle from which the palm came. It was as if this was a casual palm, without any palm technique to speak of. It was like a farmer playing around. However, he felt his hair stand on end. A martial artist's sixth sense warned him that this palm contained a fatal killing intent. The entire air seemed to tremble under this palm. Dong! Chapter 491. How is this possible? Xiaohao was shocked. It was just a casual palm strike that didn't seem to contain much power. However, when the palm hit his body, he felt a terrifying force that was like a flood crashing into him. In just an instant, this ferocious force seeped into his lungs, heavily injuring his body. There were even a few bones that made light cracking sounds. He stood on the ground and supported himself with all his might. He resisted the urge to vomit blood and slid for hundreds of meters, leaving 2 deep marks on the ground before he finally stopped. The clapless palm is really powerful. Xiaoping was very satisfied with the power of the palm strike. Although he had learned a bit of the clapless palm's mysteries through the system's enlightenment, this was the first time he had truly unleashed it. When he blasted the palm strike just now, the martial arts mysteries of the clapless palm flowed into his heart. He felt as though he was in an ethereal realm. A casual palm strike was natural and contained a terrifying force. However, this palm technique is broad and profound. It has the power of a peerless king level. Although I have the enlightenment from the system, I have only just started. I can't say that I have completely mastered it. I have to practice more before I can master it. Perhaps I can take advantage of this opportunity to fight more enemies. Xiaoping's eyes lit up as he stared at Xiahao in the distance. Whoosh! At this moment, before Xiahao could react, Xiaoping attacked again from afar. A casual palm strike came from hundreds of meters away, condensing into a terrifying palm print in midair. It was as though Buddha had descended. A huge palm print crushed down from the sky and locked onto his chi. No matter where he hid, he couldn't escape. Oh no! Xiahao was so scared that his face turned green. However, his body was still in midair. There was no place for him to borrow strength from. Even if he wanted to dodge, it was impossible. With a bang, his entire body was sent flying. His body flew in midair and his limbs lost strength. The long sword in his hand also fell to the ground with a clang. However, this was only the beginning. Xiaoping didn't wait for Xiahao to fall from the sky. He attacked continuously with his palm strike. Countless palm prints formed in midair and completely surrounded Xiahao's body. Bang bang bang. Immediately, a series of booming sounds rang out in the entire combat room, and Xiahao's body was continuously attacked by countless palm forces in midair. Due to gravity, his body wanted to fall to the ground, but he was hit by a palm. When his body rose to the highest point and was about to hit the roof, he was slapped down again. One slap up, one slap down, maintaining a certain rhythm. After more than a dozen consecutive attacks, it was as if Xiahao was being slapped around like a rubber ball. He had even deliberately controlled the strength of each palm strike so as not to kill Xiahao. This. The elite students who saw this scene were all dumbfounded. They couldn't believe their eyes at all. Xiahao clearly had the upper hand and could have defeated Xiaoping in an instant. However, in the blink of an eye, Xiahao had turned into a ball and was being beaten up by Xiaoping. Bastard, stop immediately. Xiahao couldn't help but let out a blood-curdling scream as he spat out a mouthful of blood. The palm energy passed through the air and into his body. The terrifying chi energy vibrated within his body, crazily destroying it. It was fine if he was only seriously injured. After all, as a martial artist, who hadn't been injured before. But now he was being played around like a rubber ball, like a toy. For him it was simply a great humiliation. He had lost all his dignity. Yes, this palm should be like this. This is the so-called clapless palm. It means that the heart of martial arts is in an ethereal state, and the heart is like a mirror. It can move according to one's wishes, and it's natural. Countless martial arts profoundness flowed in Xiaoping's heart, and he felt extremely carefree. Although this was a painful experience for Xiahao, it was an excellent sparring partner for Xiaoping. As he slapped out palm after palm, he circulated the cultivation technique in his body and felt the traces of each palm strike. As for the use of palm force, his understanding of the clapless palm deepened. It was as if the essence of this martial arts technique had been integrated into his blood. Although he had been enlightened by the system and seemed to have learned the clapless palm, it was only the beginning. As for the deeper level of martial arts, he needed to slowly comprehend it. One had to know that the clapless palm had a total of 9 layers of force. Right now, he had only comprehended the first layer. The destructive power of each layer of the clapless palm was more than 10 times stronger than the previous layer. The first layer was the strongest and most ferocious force, enough to shatter rocks and split gold. With a palm strike, the palm force was indestructible. Even the legendary dragon subduing palm, which was said to be the strongest and most ferocious, capable of subduing dragons and tigers, was probably only at this level. If he could comprehend the second layer and superimpose the 2 layers, the destructive power would be unimaginable. Just as Xiaoping was about to comprehend more, a pig's squeal came from the air. I admit defeat, I admit defeat. Huh? Admit defeat? Xiaoping didn't expect Xiahao to finally be unable to endure the torture, and chose to admit defeat. With a ding-dong sound, a mechanical voice came from the combat room. Xiaoping wins. Immediately, 2 balls of energy enveloped Xiaoping and Xiahao, separating them immediately. Xiahao was finally lying on the ground, panting heavily. He no longer needed to be beaten up by Xiaoping. At this moment, Xiahao had no strength left in his body. His bones were all broken. Even if he soaked in a high-grade nutrient solution, he would need at least a month to completely recover. Why did you admit defeat? Xiaoping said unhappily, staring at Xiahao. If he had more time, he might have been able to comprehend more of the mysteries of the clapless palm. The benefits would be endless. But now that Xiahao chose to admit defeat, he lost the opportunity to continue comprehending. Why did he admit defeat? Hearing this, Xiahao was so angry that his lungs almost exploded. This guy really knew how to make sarcastic remarks. Didn't he see how miserable he was just now? If he didn't choose to admit defeat, who knew how much more he would be humiliated by this bastard? He was also an elite student of Yanhuang University, a martial master. Now, in the combat room in front of so many people, he was being beaten like a ball by this guy. This was definitely a great shame and humiliation. Even if he lost this duel, he would also lose 1,000 energy stones. This was definitely a heavy loss. Xiahao felt very pained about losing this huge sum of money. It was as if Xiaoping had cut a piece of flesh from his body. It was a bloody pain. You're tuning into the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.